Welcome to Trust Bank.
If you are thinking of a bank that takes care of customers' needs by providing quality services with flexibility, reliability, and innovation, think Trust Bank. With Trust Bank mobile banking, you enjoy services such as balance enquiry, mini statement, funds transfer between accounts, exchange rate, mobile airtime top-up, stop ATM card, checkbook requests, and PIN change. Our real-time gross settlement allows the customer to instruct the bank to transfer funds from their account to another account at another bank. Our expertise and experience in international banking is both legendary and the envy of the market. Retail banking. One bank, different amazing packages. Whether you are interested in savings account, current account, time or fixed deposit account, lending or overdraft, our team of dedicated staff is always ready and happy to help you out with your transactions as you wish. Corporate banking. Trust Bank offers the most convenient services for deposit accounts, credit facilities, trade finance, bond and guarantee, and foreign currency account. With e-banking, you can make electronic bill payments and online banking and enjoy 24-hour access to your money without ATM. With the largest network of branches and agents, we give you the convenience to receive funds as you please. We are Trust Bank because we take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments, deposit at a bank, and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Una Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Una Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Jah Oil ñoom ñoo jiitu si wàllum jaay essence si biir réew mi te ñu def ko warugal pour kontaan loo suñu client yi borom moto yi ak driver yi seen jaaxare jeex na léegi pour am essence bu baax ak njëg bu yomba lii sax moo tax ñu amal leen banxaas fépp si biir réew mi pour essence bu baax bu set benn place rek la muy Jah Oil soo soxlae essence bu set essence bu baax gasoil wala kérosène naa la wax ne Jah Oil rek mooy jëmukaay ga doxantul rek si bépp banxaasi Jah Oil nga am si bànneex ak Jah Oil seen bànneex mooy suñ taxawaay moo tax ñu amoon leen banxaas bépp si biir réew mi nim gën a yombee pour yow ak suñ liggéeykat yu xarañ yi naa la won ne mbégte rek nga see jël pour am essence bu baax pour say machine fenn place rek la mooy sa Jah Oil ak Jah Oil bànneex kese la moo tax sax suñ station si nekk ca Costa Road ak Banjul wàññil nañ leen njëgi essence bi foofu noonu pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call si 770 8080 322 9070 714 7273 wala 787 1321 Jah Oil, the pride of the nation.
Looking for the perfect home away from home in the Gambia? Welcome to BC's Residence, your ideal short-stay apartment in the heart of Bundum. Whether you're visiting for business, pleasure, or an extended stay, BC's Residence offers you the comfort, convenience, and privacy you deserve. Enjoy spacious, well-appointed accommodations in a peaceful neighborhood just behind Nusrat High School. Our residence combines modern amenities with authentic Gambian hospitality, ensuring your stay is both comfortable and memorable. At BC's Residence, you are not just booking a room, you're finding your perfect base to explore all that the Gambia has to offer. Ready to book your stay? Contact us today. +220 941414 BC's Residence at gmail.com. BC's Residence, Bundum, behind Nusrat High School. Your comfort is our priority.
Assalamu alaikum bari wangal bismillah na Kerr Fatou programme ton kaminke aramisa nata janko take kakacha nata la mi dendi ko la mi be kere banko kan nalbe nyoma kan ale ne ko bi nyanta me taliben sula la sotola atela nyanta kala na gesoti but few hours ago I called a family emergency resoto at a make nola, and then we had to quickly put up a team together, and Dodou is always my last resort. But covering at the NPP for being the first time, so we're definitely going to have to start from there. Dodou, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Yes, so
of course, also we have my brother here, Omar Saibo from GALA, and I had to call Omar also last minute, and I really appreciate that he had to move at the appointment so to be here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome back, Fatou. I look forward to a very truthful discussion.
So yeah, I'm going to guest kilo porta science. Yeah, so I announced announcement of the phone okay. Never been go on a video record. Mente is joining us. I fall to call because chemo covering Iko Mana. Iko chemo will come. Chemo go okay. I'm coming. Okay. So we discussed it, but then a promo Facebook go to the wrong. No video record I have an emergency. Now, just 1 minute before we shared the show, we didn't even expect what they were sending somebody. He just sent Alaji Sidia Fofana. I asked Alaji Sidia, I'm going to play so maintain me Fonte. I remember Alaji Sidia, so it looked like more like an aborted shot. Why do you think? Anyway, I asked you, welcome to the show first.
Thank you so much. Viewer be content without la faka for dal honorable Mampuri.
No abortal.
Coring on the
Mantara tu wala abortal. Hey, meeting take. I mean Fonte. I don't go.
You'll come another time.
No, you will come. Last time, no, but I want to be honest. But to be honest, put movie along abortal. UMC malum bi mënu ma la problème
moment ka debate ke national assembly
yalla nga yati ni mo wal bu ka crash mala ni Omar na me ya Omar
non ko mala fo muna na broni no I was actually expecting to hear
comment section don't tell you comment section is brutal.
Right.
Neither a comment section, neither am more coming for you. Don't be any Well, sometimes when I have some guests, I don't even announce it.
Yeah.
Because no one day, you can do July more if I cannot hide it. So sometimes that's why I don't announce guests. But you know, but anyway, he's not here. But we will have a show.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back. I could call him on what I book a sila. First, must start the dami start like no more for. Capital NPP Nenaman Kacha. Dude, why? What happened? Even APRC, you guys are in alliance with NPP. I been killing the sort of defsila, being a group la. Munatin you had to resign from APRC and go to NPP. If I'm APRC in Kolu, it's like they will feel hurt because you resign from your position. You go political blood.
No,
executive.
Yes, I resigned from
you know, because he'll have to break a little break that. But still, I'm not a Muruna Kotaka Bangamindia or later NPP. Mune was up. Was that the plan before?
No. I carry turning killing seal. If it was planned earlier, natural the Kabri resigned at the very short span, the decision Tala.
Yeah.
And even at the time, NPP came knocking my doors, and I said no. I said my family wants me to take a back seat, engage in some other issues, and see what happens later. So 11 months is almost one year. Almost I said clean seal. So nataranga fenne plan numbe o kela no ameta nimpati jamale nata. You know, from the GDC, Noto Alliance, PDI, small UDP, big engagement. Yeah, Talib is a brother, he's a friend. Lonneko, Katanyawnya, I fennole. Naka Benenka Sinka Kachaku Jamala. I value back. I landed Dulato me alonko, maybe Dolma Miracle, Dudu Jarta wala, but at a fair, I kule lonna koto, and I can engage back. But in Dodou Jah, I've never joined EMC. Working with Talib was not at an individual. Amanken Tedama, Molle Bembulu, ni Mealonko, ni Kadoko Kele, political level, and all of the Patriotic Front, Mojama Bijele. So through that Patriotic Front, well, engagement in Nati with Talib. Even Jani Okol Bebe Kela, Nina team, Nasi Talen Kachata, Realonko Tedama Teng, but Alonko, Mobuka Samba, Bantabato, so to political Dobije, Ferolong, you know, Kajeko, Yatamandi, come Alaftara, Kenyame. But in NPP, from 2023, level starter. Kabrim Pareta nunka APRC bulangata NPP. But after Molle Nataka intervened, what time or local government elections was on, Koninga Patio Bulase Keno, abe problemo natila andumbe election cycle o lekono. Sa purna tuje ngatenten bedula mento, you know, it's all one. And I accepted without any force. I continued working with the APRC without any problems. Natara, it was based on interest ndela la fano sa fano ko hani laftanyen and ning pusta dorong moten stop nola because I have right to be wherever I want to be. Bari kamunta ko at a certain point they need my services more at the NPP side. I was engaged with Discourse Island. I have to engage my family, other well-wishers, people who really support from the political lenses, and they endorse. More doliafanyako inyanta nyinkela numfanga meta. Doliafalako, we don't want you to go. People with divergent views. But at the end of the day, most of them, they welcome it. And untata jefanange bundal bele yelenye. You know, mammen expect fan yole dinna.
But dude, munatina NPP, why NPP? Number one, if I'm in alliance with you and you're taking, for example, my best person, you are the deputy spokesperson, but technically you are the spokesperson. It is the Malaka Diam from the APRC. Most of the APRC. You are the only person who was speaking from APRC. And then APRC in NPP but in alliance. but ni be do ko han sai kan no mol tan ko to ite ben la patio teol o to NPP be APRC teol to nga fo ma fo wala be keka natural be bita kanje. Why was it so important for you to go to NPP bayral be ko kilne deputy speaker ma to letat ambassador balbul place balbul deputy place ol be badi kangala imal konfena munati na ite you choose to go.
Engagement ketale even from the hierarchy NPP la nyaton call the call Fabakari manke ko ente wafule ko kafanya ko na APRC to jihani o manke they engaged, told them what was needed and they endorsed. Niakorosi, yes.
Even choice sort of a
no one then Niakorosi on the side of Ntelata and NPP amanke signed a ketale last year November. Baranena mang announce mo maji tenim president yelo wala ngata NPP bureau to sifa because APRC bunyale based of the alliance and kudo bije niake wakamunta ko okay cross carpet lom and abe mo jamale attract la pour ye move to the other side and kabri woketa dol bije lafta bulala noma bari gal man song eko based on temurta dol ya fanya ko be dawo dambe koma wada gal son tale man son nini wolbe do ko kere bari te son like official kaje ko you know lot of people are moving from APRC to NPP then ba fala ko okay you know lafta party o tinyal bari hakilo tule it's not like lafta molle bondi la from APRC kenati NPP hani miatin na fal dol ya kala muta kabirin nim panderi interview soto panderi ture o tamole dol ya moy nga lonne ko atefana mebe ay kibaro soto doto barinte nene ma safe nene ma announce to la doto focus tamen na olom kado ko okay because kulom mi alon ko they need my services kom nga fa nyame and na focus mo wallet
focus yes. Okay and you know you have a right to join anywhere. It's just that my favorite APRC guy now is in NPP and you know NPP already do think you until a favorite person to say Kumbalo.
Yes, that's right.
Well, say Kumbalo can never do wrong in my eyes. You know, that's the thing. Ngani mo tutum feel ni wala say Kumbalo kola. But going to the ongoing voter registration, Saibo, we had a show here last time, and I think it's important gonna continue on the voter registration. Yaya Menteng was supposed to be here, and it was important that he came. By the irregularities or manager, he was involved in allegedly in one of those. But just before when I showed on the videos going out in LRR, me along come to UDP NPP Nyola. In the video you can hear them say some of the elderly people me and 80 something or 40 something Gambian or the Hanekaiti killing table Gambian document, and then you have other people. Obviously some of the videos that I saw, those people really look very young. I don't know how those people can be 18 years. You call for another registration or so dokobal tikata nyoka maji, and we all want the voter registration pura free, fair, malafi fitinology. But incidents like this near Jubeka, we come in miracle Fatou.
Baraka Fatou, I think incidents fall akan sila bakele, right? And fanang aka kule wuli muyalong ko near jibe Electoral kake the most critical moment in every country. Ninga kilul jibe mulkeda sate jamato. Part of it is post-electoral violence or electoral violence. And muneka sabu wale mul bukatani hakilola foka pari ibukatani luala ani luae mulandi. And then the problem of irregularities wale kol muyalong ko ini silo mantana voter registration okono pati ul bele bakeka. Wale problem comme last time nga fujani. Even voter buying. Patio bele kaka munaka ke problème du wole man sakunda le sembo ka wara atandi patio mumbe man sakunda atale sembo ka wara atale taka finti so nyindol ka kumbo bari ibele kake ya understand so nyanta ka mullo wolen ko na mol ji munke no wolen voter sensitization wolen ngata ngaf moli al finti aleta carte ke sota why politician will see soul kono especially head of political parties or in political movement will see so kono. And one thing before I get into the conversation,
last week, Nima agree on that.
Nima do.
Nima agree because I believe so. As political players, they should go and mobilize their people and take them to register.
Now, mobilize your people. And then take them to register. Ila more mobilize. Ala foi ko alta register because registration no mu alla nyantoldi and ka carte fay alla nyantolem way kada birth certificate nyini ye foka birth certificate nat na munni silo manta o manke
and remember silo man ta man so wala
exactly so
ninte mo on the privileged person te mom birth certificate soto pour moya mako e ka birth certificate what is legal
I agree
and is
ngam foy
and ya mako e ka facility ta registration that is legal
moto ablande moto kono fon ya sama ba ni fara registration dula ate bula wala na ilo fado man wuli rek koko 18 years wala nya daga carte o fay dara mena ngofo we all believe that nim mo for 18 the person have a sound mind and then as this no make no afawele so mo nya na ko bulo muta ka samba tableau ka fo register that's the point then no one problem last time nga fa jande anna 18 na wala 17 na wala 16 years 13 years ne be bulo muta ngi samba ka mo bulo muta ka samba dura mo ndé ba ma den samba leptan foni courant wala ka mo ngo de tamano de yembula ni mu do ko bo ni wote mben fong tamana ngata leptan because saying I am 30 something and I am grown up enough to do that ninta la fa university bi mo tan bulo muta samba university and then the 18 years wonin ko wala ko also sound mind and 18 years because normally expect ne sanji tanning say sodo e nyanta ka lo noy fon yele ko dol ke fon e surtout mumbel dandi ka findio so kono yela bas certificate ota yeta ka register ni man bas certificate sodo ni mo lafta ke mago comme yafu nyame ila sembo me futani ye kaso because sometimes you ko dol bi connection leg somebody can go and assist you but carrying you to the table will problem ka because you know why we should stop it because now munebe kala the oppositions are crying that the government officials are doing it. But now, let's say for example, Menteng is a senior official. He's not a politician, he's a technician. The last time we had a conversation. If a technician of a movement that is gaining so much momentum, like UMC, can be going to polling stations. NPP, for example, Sirun Jallow, the deputy speaker, but Sirun Jah in this country, we know under all circumstances had a little bit of advantage than Yaya. So they can go into the grassroots, mobilize people, support them document also, but let them stay back from going to the table because Menteng is opposition, but he has an authority in this country. He's a National Assembly member.
Yes.
You understand? So that's my position. But to kill all of this, I see in the electoral law, if you are 18, you have a birth certificate, an attestation, ID card, or a passport. The law is silence. Where they can reject somebody.
Yes.
But I think where the law is silence, I can depend interpretation on the bull. But if I am IEC, I will use my discretion to do certain things. Number one, Nintabe polling station or Nimmo na mumbe ADS, never na ko jimbe ADS le.
Yes.
Fa hanin de natalo ni jiberek ikana ko jimbe ADS le. Nimmo fofana rande and na ko be fofana is above 18 years by looking at appearance. You understand? Niemo kamana miyala ngo akabe 80 years le braman kaydo so mbafle ta kayto nyining because ngane ko momu ruta nyim banko kan hanatara espata le molbe makole do so but you don't have 80 years nyim banko kan sangi tanning say iko ma hani kayde kilin so
sangi tan say kay
yo iko ma hani kayde kilin so so I know the law is. I had this debate with Mar, I think shortly the Monday he came here. This conversation I think the IEC sometimes that's why you put there, you have a discretion to stop certain things, especially some of these irregularities. You understand? Nintana mojo mu ngabe 18 sanji say mbana ko etani sani so bo ne mo yara kana mu etani tan say so e ko mi ka mani kay di kilo so mbara o mam pare ka kay na gambe di so atara na political party or foisi hakilotu fo ICT hakilotu ngata ning hakilo ko election la kumaya mu mundi wolen ka banko dara amanke ka banko tinya. You understand? So nimbe nyom mako la ka registration na anu fara haniata ntara police station oto coming observer be jere all this political party be observer solo ne kuje munni silo manta kana ndiro kana kelo wana nga IC so je and I'm not so I've not observed yet this year but I see anywhere ke a police ka security attack balal
yes
two security
exactly two security ka attack balal and if you get to the worst those securities can easily call for reinforcement so mbem for a political party wolen go ngane be kamfari ne because tumiro ke ko election ka sunya during voter registration amanke election lunde say mo baby afla okay say tenter sunya la but fonsi zanin hakilo la ngaje ko election binala ay tambi ani election nyanda kan tel nad nan together le kaje ko na inform disonol make me ko bentel la hajol jarla ani banko la nyatota ngado ko baje musika bi mo si fano jele fa so nga hakilo du fo NPP lombang fo UDP lembang fo UMC lembang fo sobe lembang fo do lembang we are all supposed to come together. And so one of the role of political party is not just to win elections, Fatou. It's also to ensure there are principles that are defended in democracy. And one way to defend that is regardless of, that's the problem. Regardless of whether you are opposition, you have to come together and ensure the irregular. Because if you accept irregularities because it affects one party, how can I trust you that neither government data? So I think nanta kan hakilo to fatu back nga registration turning hakilo la nga mol makoy nga mol sensitize nga fo mole kumaya mo yana ka voters card so but politician especially nim place sifa do be debulu if found excuse to certain level of involvement because they have seen the voters cards that were so seized in Tanje, for example. The same serial number. The same serial number. But Katonyafo, if you look at the birth certificates, is the same serial numbers.
Yeah.
So people can say maybe Menten did not pay attention to that. Maybe we'll let and even whatever the case may be, come Nyantako Sifa Nebula, especially in the opposition. Because signed in the oppositional, Banco Molmuyalanko in Masakundama agree, ebe jigring wala la puri falonke. Anu falon bukeno ning anokala wulianing tilimbaliala. Fonsi tilinne. You understand? Because the move is very simple. I do not comment on this because I feel like sometimes these politicians just need to flow on their mind and they need a sense is told. But bringing koke na move walenko. Probably politicians maintain bula because I munke abediatale. But because president le setta because bire tanje momuta ya sama Bruce police station sidu yatara je abula. Do franke ya sama is jabang olatria sidu yatara je abula. And these people are not authority. So now you arrest authority. You can disagree with Menteng, but Menteng is not anybody in this country. Menteng is an arm of government.
Yeah. You
so
cannot just arrest
you cannot just arrest him and then without clear phone call and then president have been said because you cannot leave others and arrest Menteng. That was the conversation. And that is right. To set a good precedence akumadere. So mbafula banku dimole ko ngata ning hakilola ngata nga register ngata carte o fay bari sake ning horomo kono ning kairo kono anim bunya kono kanum election obe tamilale anda mole be siring nda mole be tula siring nda mole be da nyola kuliola nda mole be da nyola manyo bitola nda mole be da nyola sawla so hakil tuo betera je bakere be da nawol do fo
alaisidia ibuta ela rarle malong fo yenyu video jel mimbe sakuler kan on social media
maje follow but based on registration timeline ngalon ko Jara West kono bi registration be fonko e kundale.
Okay.
So avec udulato incident no nyimbe kala wolto.
Fonko e kunda.
Yeah, fonko e kunda.
Ma fon. Yeah. So kabira to le registration ko ma sanin santima. Ale mun observe when it comes to registration of la Carola. About allegation of be kan atol fon allegation of fountain. Alfon ya maintain sanya. Was in a voter ID birth certificate to jabul mini alonko imang kile and some people ko atol ma register fam alman ke patrioti fam alman ke patrioti follow fam atol albe mol illegally register natol keta patrioti yamra date lala fo
okay abaraka ba kila nyinen karola first of all ndela fam follow drong be carte fay sangol kono andum banku ding ila nyantolem pour ye carte nyini ni fay wato farasite ha fay wala nan defo ngana voter card for the first time be carte file because 2016 wato no be 16 years masi and I didn't want to involve myself ngalon at that time nyon jamal le carte file in that 2016 election dolbe defense atetle so but to answer your question new registration problem will make Gambia election every election cycle. I think this issue, some of these issues among addressed until now, especially Ninataka minor register, and to register people with improper documents because near the electoral activement for pre-voters card, so you need either a valid national ID card, passport, wala birth certificate, wala attestation. So, but Ninataka, most of the Nina Rajibe, ni registration of Kabira Damutata. The first public case me alonko molia moy about registration was about the seizure of the stamp of the Nyanjan Alcalo.
Nyanjan Alcalo.
Okay, Nyanjan Alcalo stamp. And then that war is a breach of law and it's a breach of constitution.
Yeah.
Because Gambia la loi le sebodi pour Alcalo la pour kamol attest.
Yeah.
So kabring ni registration of starter yewola Alcalo ni nasam allegedly ko adingo be UMC. I think we say member of UMC, which Ntete Odinala because Ofanga Foleko is a member of UMC. But Nyajibe will being a member of UMC may predate Walenko. He's the son of the Alcalo in the first place.
Yeah.
And Uganda Jang. Nsafo, I can openly say 80% of Alcalo don't stampo entrust to their sons.
That's
New one thing, ila brother.
Yeah.
New one thing, anybody a trust because Alcal Demal Bede at certain age, Ibuga Severo Sute. Nasa de Lone Menalco, problem also because Alcalo Mankarang, Nimona Yafa, and stamp, and like a problem. So Ni Alcalo had no trust. I stampo diala. War is not about for a lafta Calmori because stampo be sati mul beleje. Momona is a register not. It's a attest no le niatan do it all yajeko is necessary. So lafaka kumudo jansa brother Camara me for ning Africa la problem be nyajibe especially in dollar ning West African sub-region. We have about 4 military governments. Nulbe they came as a result of corrupt civilian government or corrupt elections mega organized because near Guinea Conakry, for example, Alpha Conde won a third term, controversial third term.
Yeah. Just
before I think among 6 months he Dumbiano liquidate.
Yeah.
So Lafaka nation and Walenko ning electiono ala Cairo electiono ke Cairo Konana Bank Cairo Kono. The sole responsibility, the biggest responsibility rests on the shoulder of the referee, which is the IEC.
Yeah.
He told them referee and need to tilinta Cairo be sabat lajal. But ni man tiling problem minal. So all stakeholder me political party ning political movement or yalo ni ko ntole UNC manke party. Nte buka deny barinka inka jeleko because ni ajibe Gambia loi ni la fakake party ni la application odundi. There are about 50% of the things maybe application okono well they have to exist before you get party found because loi kono foila bureau soto in all the administrative areas foila to soto foila name soto foila symbol soto foila logo soto foila constitutional soto and you tell you amake ko be kelale after no you have to get them before you registration of submit so nyumbu quality me alonko ni o fulfill no kay almost you know you are already half in as a party.
Yeah.
So what is left there is the official confirmation from the IEC. So Wala Nanteka for UMC we are party in making and inshallah we will be registered officially and we are going to be the biggest party. Yes, party in making because registration of BJ already.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nina new supplementary I'm in LRR as the regional admin secretary for LRR UMC.
Yeah.
Although Ntafuno langa agent tool sort of, but we have a team. They are also monitoring this registration process, including myself.
Yeah.
So what I can say is that the process has been relatively calm because Moma report mo ifona menke beat. Even in the earlier period of the registration, there is only one incident at Keta Sateba, Soma Sateba registration center. The governor allegedly went to the registration center and told the IC officials that party agent Solmen Beje Nyana Tara Bantale instead of a Tarakono, which is unconstitutional and Governor Fangalo Namara sort of Kaufu. But thank God that the IC supervisor told him that this is what we do. Agent Sol Katrasir in every party, agent to Sotole Mealonko, they are sitting down and monitoring the process. So apart from that, I think the activity has been relatively peaceful. Including my own village, Karantaba Sankuya, many other places, Kia West Kono, Kia East, the process is relatively calm. And then I have certain reports, mine will be registered, but what we advise is note everything down, and then there is revised code. Revised code, Bekela, Momo satisfy anything, we can go to revised code. But ngalon ne mola farm road killing on this thing, and people's reaction will not be the same when they see something that they believe is illegal. I'm yet to even get update from our people on the ground, but I'm sure before maybe I'll be able to make a call because I know people may and then they will be eyewitness of this problem.
But again, you maintain
a case.
Maintain a case.
Okay.
Maintain a case. Nga kaitol minje. Olong kolat na bebeta numbaka. Maintain at na alumna na manna. Maintain alumna na manna. Atara si press conference dro afo I think it is statement balbo ni maintain.
Okay.
Nga birth certificate ol minje. Nyindong 17 ti, nyindong enter 18 la, nyindong enter 19 la. Halin te fo mi along ko man smart. Ninta ba mo ninga long ka mi register ba ñu do fo samba la weta ñaato nga mo lu blo no ma na ñu do samba but you be tammi de samba tablo kan that looks very suspicious.
Yes, yalong maintain a case. Benteng is a stakeholder, he's a National Assembly member, and I can say he's an arm of government and is a guardian of the constitution because only besiri mole loi bonto pour kaje ko loi même for tamaka the legislature. So but remember maintain a case. One thing to say même for no Walenko maintain is not the issuing authority of any birth certificate. Maintain authority set up a birth certificate dimola. And I'm not sure there is anybody who can establish that maintain a birth certificate issue to those people they may claim ko maintain a birth certificate on Indila. I know one thing, like any other National Assembly member, it ought to be every sitting MP right now, it ought to constituency registration page, you go around, you meet with them. They are going all around every registration center. Some some they bring them just to register. They try to facilitate register. We are seeing all that. But maintain as a MP, maintain is helping to mobilize people to register. And maintain more somebody, they don't even need this birth certificate. I more somebody registration center. There are people that maybe they are more concerned with maintaining a capacity that registration center just to watch.
But is it coincident to maintain not? Birth certificate will be 17, 18, 19. What for a coincident? The moment I dem ban fall.
I think as a result of
Barry, a birth certificate will be bloody you don't tell 17 and you don't tell 18 and you don't 19. And you maintain that. Is that also a coincidence?
Well, it could be, but what I can establish is that maintain birth certificate issue more.
Okay.
And then mainly a report because Mende was not arrested. I think that we need to correct that. He was arrested. He was called for questioning.
Jumala report.
Allegedly, you didn't call that report because they were uncomfortable with his actions. But yeah, long coming, brother Camara Faja. Not everybody is innocent in this new process. There are people that are overdoing it, or there are people that, because of the resources they have, they are doing more than what others are doing. But Nimomoko innocent completely, I don't think that is right. But this process more being an honest land because opposition will cry a lot about the ruling party. Yes, ruling party most of the irregularities we are seeing, ruling party spearhead come, and I think they should be the one to lead by example because nitol be menke ka nani luamanta mol bajala ko saying because niadi be IC la chairman president ka nominate aya select so niadi be ning ruling party be kodol ke kamelon ko mol fi ani luamanta opposition ani luamanta.
Are we seeing a scenario where opposition are thinking ruling party back here can stop now and is that what we're saying?
No, I'm not necessarily.
It doesn't look like that.
No, it doesn't look like that, but I think this is the main cause of the problem because many people believe that last election registration was very bad. It was flawed, and it was most of the improperties that were done by the ruling party. So I think that is why some people not like Betakela, but the efforts to mobilize and to help citizens to get registered this time around, take an effort made from if all the oppositions, including the ruling party, there are a lot of efforts, more than the effort taken, including many they have ambitions. Myself, I have ambition, so I will make sure I help people can more mobilize, can more sensitize. But if you until the start to Kabira registration on another day, the only time kata center katela konto dan katana bolota, I excuse myself kata CJ no because ngalonko nin sita je model might feel uncomfortable. But I nana menkela ngo kele. I encourage young people me alonko ya sinko ya alta halam next ale kate onini. Because now man kate osoto alte kate final andung alte tara complain kanjang banko man tata kuka while when you need to make your voice heard ibederi. So maintenance case coming police case ya fenkenya me dolba fola because imam party muta ite samba mutala. I think that is maybe it's a fair thing to analyze, but momang evidence so resa for maintain birth certificate or di wala. What he did was he brought them, yes, motive dinala, but he did not issue any birth certificate to anybody. In fact, he doesn't have the authority to do that.
Father, quickly on that.
Denied that.
So no, quickly on that. I agree with Fofana that coming Yaya mang authority soto. But hakili tuo beda back ning ibe certain place be comme ya jame Yaya is an authority. Ni Yaya tarafa alaftaka lamin ning Omar ning Fatoumata mako e ke samba ita register. Wol kay ko birth certificate le bembulu. If I were Benteng, I will confirm the birth certificate. Coming I think you were in UDP in 2021.
Yes.
Right? And you agree that there were fraud in the electoral process, especially in the registration, right?
Registration, yes.
Yes, you agree to that. So now that you form a party, so all of you have the same mindset that, okay, the same thing will happen, we need to block it, but also we need to ensure that more encourage because the whole idea is this is not just because you want to stop fraud. If you facilitate Yemul Mako pre-register, there's a high tendency that will be cartier file because they see a favor out of that. So bring Yaya Tada for Alaftaka Sanka Mulma Kesama police station also, he needs to also understand the legalities and the implications attached. Hani on the ID card will passport. Right? He should be able to confirm that because birth certificate of Manafoga expire, but let's say for example ID card expire. So let's say for example birth certificate of Samba. Like let's assume that is the case. Another passport will maribul. While ID card will maribul. Or that guy person is not out as aware as passport can expire or expire. It's going to be the same thing. Yeah, I mean, passport on baby or ID card on baby expire. So I agree. I agree with you that is not an issuing authority for birth certificate. But the moment he took upon himself to carry people to the center, he should ensure that their documentations are legal and are intact.
Yes.
You get? So correct. This is what our point is, that every politician out there should pay attention to that. That we facilitate registration, but we must ensure that also we are vigilant with the kind of documentations these people we are facilitating. We will take sure that we avoid all of these issues. Because Munakanake, like I said, the opposition, you are more alternative to the
Yes.
Yeah.
So the moment you started acting a certain way, Alka more jiglatele.
That's correct.
And we become scared to say, and that's why I don't agree with those who ask this question, and that's why sometimes if I see those questions I get mad, but I also sit back and then monitor the opposition. If not Barrow, then who? The opposition should pay attention to this.
Anybody is better than Barrow at a certain degree.
Absolutely, I agree myself. But now you should not give any single voter an opportunity to question your worth as opposition over Barrow. And this is why I said, like you said, you have ambitions, right? Until there's irregularity or they call your attention to something, right? I think we should start encouraging everybody to do that. You can go and monitor to ensure there are no irregularities. But let's stay back because there are no promoted fund.
Yeah.
The attestation issue for quickly. It's a big controversy.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, in 2021, a group of civil society went to court.
Yeah.
They raised some court and Banjul.
Yes.
You know, Banjul doesn't have an alcalo.
No.
And Banjul doesn't have a CFO. Banjul only have a mayor. So I'm gonna get a mayor doesn't have an authority to issue an attestation. Right?
Yeah.
When the bill, the new electoral bill was passed in 2025, normally in the old electoral bill is the alcalo and the CFO that can issue attestation. What do? They remove CFOs, right? And they maintain the alcalos. But now, that in fact is unfair to the people of Banjul.
Yes.
Now, if somebody in Banjul doesn't have an ID card, and now right now they're not issuing ID cards, doesn't have a passport because need to go and then queue for 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get a passport. The quickest is to go and get an attestation. That person is going to vote. So meaning, birth certificate rather, or an attestation, right? Now we should scrap the whole issue of attestation and then do a favor for your Mukumarabake. I see doesn't want the attestation. It's the politicians that insists the attestation G. What kind of message does that signal us? Yep. And now is this opposition move borra kaf moleko yen alkali karila stampo sisle. You see, sometimes nimba kodul ke kan mira le komi coming abe muna wula molye. For me, I don't think that the attestation thing makes sense at all.
Attestation on your bola. Yes, that is.
And now one of the thing is, can you the opposition, politicians work on that?
I'm sure with the UMC government or United government, attestation of the bola, because we want to make very credible.
We have not. Now wait. Now what we are trying to look. Let's look at this for when we get to government. If I become government, every politician have said if I become government, and they became government and they maintain what is there. So what I'm trying to say is, I think attestation coding there is enough for people to get documentation and get voters cards in this country. And one thing just to conclude also, I think to ensure there is fairness in registration. Maybe this time around is late, but the IC need to look at bringing all stakeholders that are responsible for documentation in this country. That way, if there is a, let's say for example at any police station, right, there is a health personnel attached who know that this is a valid birth certificate, this is how it works. There is, because there is an immigration officer. So anybody that comes to register will pass. If you come with a passport, you go to the immigration with voters and ID card, so that they verify that this is a valid paper. If you come with birth certificate, you go to the health. Imagine that IEC now will have a limited work to be blamed, in fact accepting what is not supposed to be accepted, but they're screening.
One of the politicians I spoke to yesterday, government has stopped the biometric birth certificate, has stopped issue right before registration. Now, birth certificate, what are they left to do? Well, can you do any birth certificate? Do any? Well, I think you birth certificate or both government and the opposition. But Monday, very worrying. Ako kabri tol as an independent observer. Kabri observation o kumasi registration o for B. Inya minje nyim voter registration o inena maji irregularities on the age people, molmini alonko imanke non-Gambians so inya minje inena maji. And a lot of people believe most of it is the ruling government. NPP. Yalla mol muta la tanje. Musuningo muta. Birth certificate kensen wala babuli ko ala bago kono. Itata la so kono itata je mota raje. Ya sama polisi di njay tata polisi abondi je ali amundina ali ala kenan agentoti na latri ya fana moyle ali gowono e mola stampo table nyangen abanso na dile science tende ani UDP molbe class kan in LRR. All of these irregularities nka minje, apart from the single maintain case na minje, all of this nka minje is coming from the ruling government. Why munatina?
Always the case. The incumbent and the biggest opposition party. Always. ni mo fulo like a clash from history ndenga men long political kon anum ka fa nyamen all the time membe kono to no membe baturo la banta olon fintinga dum sa ni kanyo korosi back in most cases it was like a clash ndela focus be sere kundawes bari jannim be futala wala mari kudo fo janne wolom ni be mo makoy kan pour ay kayto soto kana futa tabuloto don't reach at the desk and I agree because member bulu molle be sirinje minul sa authenticate maybe if there are certain issues that's where you can go to the desk, make inquiries, can be communicator to sort things out. I'll give a brief example tata bakote bohol mer dole bije singole problem on sota boka tama ntela ya pick nga samba to the registration center tening na modo andung kabira futa da jenta manji mototo besire ndame andung gal menkete la korda kono janitale amamme kabira futa je aisi mon ya nyeninka ka ko fama any document soto akwa sa nyeninka fa e carte file in 2021 ako woma taraja bara file 2026 mi aje woni nin karo kake pour isa jibe no system woni kono na e carte file 2021 maybe if you give the details ni wol ya check iba jelale sa men keta pour abe formo l'état la ay ta alkaloya nata ta alkaloya alkalo nata akonya ko jumalo amajino motokono akabe motokono akonya ko ngata ngaji be nganye ninka anaka chata barakati formo filmo anyanta tala ay nyinin karoke parce que ya fa abe sabatiri ndama ay jelonne abe kiskisro kala janning abe any details put la jinte. I was very impressed with alkalo la dokola moma nyanna nala dorong moye kumo fa dorong ya fil wa nyama no ala raglo ma kiskisro ke kaje ko koli ta nyama den wo attestation sifa ba fa la ko ke alkali nae menke me alon kanin silotata abe mol fana mako la ku jamal bari a problème o siatale attestation la ko ni aje nko ndefe ala problème o bewolto ano IEC man la fala metale from 2019 2020 kana for 2021 ila bengol de kamabe la IEC the political party invite the other stakeholders ya kechale pour nga attestation bon bari political party le lota ko hani anu ila dello menti ko dolu bije they will be disenfranchised wolom ne attestation bonde dol bije hani help post table pour ibani la dame an pour kabudu la dolto ka fo ko be nala fo banyur wala oda de abe kole ala le yela point sol put ay simon sembo soto itol bukalula dada itol ka propose le e a suggest la assembly parliament wol vana manso politician wol de sirinje sa mo sa fa ko an inte manke politique andu idabe politique kon no imu politique imu politician oleti minul manke politician olti wol ye fan jam fan di politique la ko bari ni daba kono imu politician oleti akamenta ko mo ay ta workshop akalara ngol dada sera sa fa ko nde manke kapente menezije. Oh, doesn't make any sense. If you are not a politician, stay away from politics. But you need to be political, you are a politician. That is the bottom line. But political party le balanta. Omar ye kudor suggest le pour IC screening ke. Wolia suggest le amanke bi ka bring a party man sakunda. Bari loi le mensonge atende loko loi mafo ko al sakeno. They wanted to use their discretion. Again the politician wala ka fo hani. Ima wa right soto, ima wa sembo soto. San, coming to minors, nyama moje fo. Bari natal dol jele. Nte nga vole, if I were an IEC staff, nte son na wale register. Do bije ni nya jibe dorom, mbebe nyimbanko. Ibalo na ko tonya nyimman fo da sanji tan say 18 years. Hani kabalane. But at the end of the day, come foye, olom luako ni mo nata with a valid attestation. You cannot reject them. IC doesn't have the powers to reject. Woto nyanta luwa jibela. We knew back to the drawing board. Namam falling. Feye la faje wolom ka screening allow IEC. Maybe kudol le nyanta la falaje. Surtout lichi kita ko mumu minority. Anyini ka ibe school juma. Nabe English wala Arabic. School auto, all the details katara jele, mobu katai ma register. Make a follow-up to the school itself, ibalonda ko besanji jelo. Then these are issues men say use not to the revising courts, will ye bondi from the system. Ntefe, abe kursoni andela akamen nati immigration e talaje health officer is good, but they will challenge you through the laws ko law man so wala, and you cannot force. Nim problem to law wolom problem bari na man bondi every time nim call ita bondi no and irregularities abe happen nale ore afo jande ibele kake nte sinola ka fa ko okay mbe NPP le mbe man sakunda de fe nta pick nola
bari mbe ne ko atol mbe I want to be specific. NPP
kamile
ani
kana people minul involved well ke deny fo kilim fo finti da ka fo an sontan tolle ka
bari mbe ngajele musundingo mimbe tanje ngajele UDP nkoli ya muta fo ya sama police ita fala so kono iko voter birth certificate sol tarala bago kono
NPP mol ko amanke NPP nkade
but NPP mol nata musundingo nata ya natina as their agent intanje
agent
hi nata mo bigena
no
registration fenko
abenu sirinje agent yala
inata nati woto ha
okay nte wo balanola natara weleketa bari nkamen folom karile yake kari wonema fonsa jibe men ka sabu jele nyanta dadal ni je mandada luwani nga jibe pour réguler abe koli ala bake mon ke challenge ko
luwa min vote when it comes to the electoral bill ni atara national assembly am min be ko mbota jan lafta min be ke je ko diaspora vote ke and all the other things so min entertain la atole majority soto in the house NPP atole majority soto na lafta mi pass la you have
no abe depend na
that
get absolute majority
no make absolute majority
so of these bills are absolute majority
absolute majority no simple majority nyim bilo min pass taten ale min pass was simple majority in fact ale ake nyala ake wotro ni UNIP ngol mino absent draw ale bilo tarian de pass ale pass so you guys had the upper hand in this and the problem with that masakunda and it's not just you but governments want confusion in the law pour que loopholes will use for example bi ne dini mo Dodou Jah tata IEC nyaati lola nyingi fo ya je ko nyi tonya nyima 18 soto ama hani 16 soto because nga incident doje nyimba explain ka janko dindi do le nata pour que register IEC ko ta register tol fo ngale ko nyimu dindi ngolati sa ye dindi ngol ko dindi ngol e bar certificate ko to le di la nyum ko tamar kabe dindi ngol ton baaki ko dindi ngol me an ko be school before you enter school ika kaitol la dikara moto you register with a birth certificate or something right so but niaje buko birth certificate or nati kanyum kutamal nati because the age on those birth certificates are not tallying with the age they are presenting at the polling registration center so ikatanya kutamal na kabri dino wala decide you know what dino wala mfo na birth certificate ko to control na iko nkana nati yenyi ndo na dino dino buko fania for most of the time right so woka wala tandi but minkake if somebody like Sirinjai or somebody like Yamente mi authority soto nana tar si IEC registration tabulo kunto aseke de ba even more intimidate la min registration so mari register you understand so and also because they know the laws is hanna tra kwete mako nyim mari ma 18 soto but luwa ko la IEC ma right soto pour que mo stop as long as an valid document not in this instance, what does the IEC officer do? And most of the time,
no, the law, I don't think the law absolutely said doesn't have the right. The law is silence. The law is silence. Whether all what the law said is that IEC is supposed to register anybody that comes with a valid voter's card, ID card, passport, birth certificate, or alcalo attestation. So if there is any other thing, the law is silent, and that's where the interpretation comes. If I was IEC officer, I would test the law.
Okay.
I would have reject somebody, and we go to court, and it is interpreted. So there is nothing like the IEC doesn't have a right to stop somebody from registering. For example, right? So the whole point is, and that's why I said that the law is silent, and wherever the law is silent, it's good to test it. And a good example is Yakumba versus the state. Yakumba versus the state, the law did not say how a nominated member is supposed to be removed. It only said that the president can nominate 5 members to the parliament. So the removal was silence.
Again, the difference here, that one is the politicians.
Yeah.
The focus here is about the IEC.
No, so we are talking about the law.
Exactly.
Let's look at the law. We're talking about the language of the law. So forget about whether it's opposition yet, or whether it's politician or is. So we're talking about law. So law doesn't know who is an opposition or who is a politician and who is not Fatou. Law I move for one. Nin president, nin National Assembly election keda. President nyanda ka molulu nominate le. Why law ma fa abe bondi la nyaadire. Wana bria ika dol bondi nu ike ka say so kono bria kumba bondi ya kumba ya challenge the Supreme Court interpret that you cannot remove a nominated member. You understand? So it's the same thing here. The law is silent. I had this discussion with Mar before I Monday. The law is silent on registering a minor or whatever what the law said is that you need to get these documents no name. Now let an IEC, like you said, that neither ya dinuje. Let IEC reject somebody and let's test that law for a further interpretation. That's my point. And I'm just giving, like lawyers will do in court, I'm bringing a similar case of the law being silent and being interpreted further after being challenged.
Yes.
You get what I mean? So if I'm IEC official, I will reject it because I know that you said voter's card or birth certificate, but I cannot register a 5-year-old. They will not bring a 1-year-old with a birth certificate and register that person.
No.
Nobody does that.
So that's what I'm saying. No, let me just learn. So if I want now that the whole idea is
follow.
No, Mambari. Example, if let's say example the IEC, the law call from IEC kind of more register, birth certificate I will take my 2-year-old little sister, no birth certificate, IEC. They will register him. Or they will not. Exactly. So this is where the point is. So the law being silenced. Now let's test the law.
First test the law. Let's test the law. That okay, go ahead.
I go around to the centers. Dol kamem for Karin Dingolo. Aman jamfa wala man wara wo matina man wo sanjosi. Nimo nata with that argument. What do you do?
What does the officer do?
Sometimes if you insist have a problem and it can stop the whole process of registration. As a chaos wulu. This is why they create the revising courts. And it's one of the functions why agents will be jailed. Record star. Na jeko ntedu rijale monat. And we te fe nyimang 18 years. Take those records. Revising courts na nataje. The court ntenga mensamba, I need to prove that beyond doubt. If I prove it, they will allow me. If not, the court will give the order, you'll be removed from the system. Are we making use of the revising courts? Now, just last week, I see a stakeholder forum created. They brought an officials from the health. May I attend the call? From February 2020, from February 28, 2023, they stopped issuing the old birth certificate. The long one. 3 years ago. Yeah, was stopped. So, Nimonata, with a date me along, it's after that. Obviously, that shouldn't be accepted. They have made it very clear. And they said in all the 8 administrative areas, in a Molbi jail, the new birth certificate, it all still now they are issuing it. Bari afole ila diamo kono moko ye was stop. Bari it all they are issuing.
Mole afonye no Omari credible, very credible.
I have a Molbenya. They said they are issuing. I point also for me alonko aka issue also. It told me for koya stop le could the old one from 2023 February 28 he has stopped le pour ka issue. What ni moye birth certificate nati IEC have a right ka check. Isule soto ta faji kunda moyen call. Andunga IEC official call kenyininka. Ye memfonye iko luwako valid passport ID card, birth certificate, and attestation. Sanyima korezi ibalon na nyadiko is valid or not. So they have a right to cross-check to make sure that it is valid. Anung attestation nunto, alkalo dolbi jele, ika kaito leta dorong, yela saferol ke, ya stamp, ya signé, moli ya nati to the IEC. That was a problem. IEC ko, ye details so long ne molka sulamende. They will design a form. Form of mialonko ni itolia design. I see la logo a baby tarla alto. Now molka nyimne pick kasamba to the alcalo. Itolia menke They have invented a form that will be unique across the country. Because Momo form also is from the IC. You go to the registration center, pick a form, you go to the alkali. Now it's between Moment Tata J and the alkali. The alkali balanta. It doesn't Now, Nimo Nata alkala la stampo anabe. IC official ko okay nying adoya tale ntenga kora sinyami komtanga fonunto is not up to 18 kafale ko dol danya amanke is a moje fa balo warta ama 18 years and those type of people to ninata you're not cross checking, you just don't focus on the body size that man wala nanko ni wala after focus la jabe chaos fanan nenate member solve la wolom the loss
so say nyanta munekela ne agents will nyanta minkele record star ne revising course data
wala tinai
another day na no register
no dena no bari mo kilinte dena no sambara
14 15 be wala
no be menna do be 14 na lota jam fi akay ko be 20 te balanna because
apongalta
wasifal de kerin wala tinan ko te focus no la damma kamola size jibe wo damma tatin na nyin ko li solve hanne wo use you can deprive some people never use so that should not only be the yardstick pour ka join nyim te fe manke pati kuti banku kolom wala tinan ko attestation na ferul jibe abi bonde la nyamen bari loi wala ba sambento ya parce que nin ko
manke problème mote ja ni ko valid birth certificate mo don ni birth certificate do dol kana wala mam valid misal fi Gambia la kodo ni ya jibe di money have a security ni moy kanta fil nati même man ko di kendori ni alon di santo if you don't see that crocodile head il faut kalon ko ni is not the real money so we need to have that digitalization in our national documents. Mais along ko credibility in attribution comme nya fo nyame if you have a health officer at the research center mais along ko you know the valid birth certificate katara nyame immigration officer mais along ba valid passport wala valid ID abenyame at that point will send you stop knowledge and I think nicol valid wala natal la ko ni birth certificate on na même valide na reject la automatically fo jangata le fo sutiata le fo wata fo message those documents should be valid no matter what
they're doing that so
but they're doing that ya don't take coming for ya long ngamba ngala nyawnya isuga soto because hanin kan kai to me valid for ya ne ko mo jama bije they will come with a valid passport because ntola kai to soto so they have and this is something we are going real issue on somebody came to one of the places to akonye ko amanke jankoti na neighbor country la Senegal akonye ko madam manda sula da favor la kati nyanta tamala ikala ko alafta la birth certificate ala passport alafta younger age le kalaje because pour ka backdate akoy kay ko gambi moy gëna yomb ci mom ko kay ko hakilo bari ko yagla ite may la birth ila passport do da no la banko ka yala e kala ina ta fonte yenti jube ka fune fonse ma koy no wala and because it is done here for Senegal député ma for the house okoko it told this border villages also they are losing a lot of their people because ni kana jara lola jang they need is a Gambian birth ID card or passport pour access to the health service la and ni election usita iko na politician will ka voters card di jama balle la mol kono and work access deal to get a birth certificate passport and kaiti do so when you say valid when I was voting 2021 I ndara ramoto na Senegalese mi algon ba mala karala lon tolle nga bonne na Senegal anda karalo ngaje ramoto abakarte faita I keep saying this kabi wolong fa wakarte fay ngani video tele nga post I could not believe it he was voting ndole wonati nam pour kana karalo ke jap atelo mbaba karalo no before so those kind of things you know that person ko ni manke gambe noti but gambe passport ba ko gambe wala so to so there so how do we
but the immigration
is to start with securing our national documents.
Before I'll come to that quickly, I just want to say something about the revising court.
Yeah.
You see, revising court ni alonko ekotoa fola. Especially the ruling government will keep telling you if you are not satisfied, go to the revising court. Yeah. They know the revising court. Father, how can the revising court doesn't have a standing data of the voters' cards? of the birth certificates, of the documents used, how do they verify that? How do they verify my claim that Lamin is registered and Lamin is a minor? How? Have we, you see, I think in the system of Yamin Fatou, there's a lot of coming test.
Yeah.
The revising course will become a delay tactic if you register 500,000 people and you file a case of 100,000 people fraud. It will take forever. Maybe if the revising court say we are going to stop elections until they verify, we will not go to December elections. So the revising court is not enough to tell people that allow them to do what they will do, and we get to the revising court. The revising court man guarantee. And no man na kalala. The learning system of Yemen, you're talking about fraud. You're talking about fraud right now. In fact, if my passport, no passport expire be found, I will go through a new process. It could have been simple that my data, everything is there. They will just reprint a passport for me because I'm renewing. So we don't have a system that have a database to verify those claims. Registration. The revising code is just some decorated sweet system put in place, and we should stop telling people if you are not satisfied, go to the revising code. The revising code have never done anything in this country. If you go to voter, everybody last 2021 election, you know, I see him again. Your name so tally if you have an issue, you go to the revising code. I'm saying what at the revising code. Salaam alaikum, Fatou register, register.
But
no, do listen. My point is, the revising code should not be an end to the mean. Because the revising code, the law code should answer a manual use.
Yes.
There is no database. So how do you know the revising code? What evidence do the revising codes have to accept or say, okay, Tonyalem, carry register because we are verified? How do they verify? Because we register direct in a birth certificate. How do they get those birth certificate back? How do we know that inside a party, inside Omar, you see, sometimes I understand there are laws and there are systems, but we must go against the system to make the system work for us. So the revising code is not an excuse. It's the most unending thing that anybody can rely on if you want to stop electoral fraud in this country, especially with registration. Fact. So we clear that there are no database to confirm this, because Banjul birth certificate do sign thing. Yeah, if you register 10 years ago birth certificate, they will be able to give you an accurate data. No. Sign thing. Somebody in the comment section was telling me that there is no database to in fact clarify that, because Brinko, there should be a health worker to sit on the desk to confirm. There is no database. Probably it's a health worker. Yeah. So the revising code are the list of excuses to tell us that Mumbai carrying Angabla revising code honey. But coming back to your question. That's just a clarification. Our institutions Fatou in weak tabakele to an extent that more camera do but also our institutions are so much monetized. Monetized, monetized to an extent that for them they are so much excited about making profit, but quality and protection of our national institution and efficiency is zero. Everybody, Momonding, is the easiest thing is to get a Gambian passport. Yep. And I'm not denying the people in the diaspora to get passport. Yeah. But somebody will sit in Italy and will facilitate a passport in Gambia in 2 days and 3 days. Somebody else can. I mean, what document do we need to take there? It's the same document we are talking about, the birth certificate that people are forwarding every day. Yeah. So I think sometimes Electoral is an overall lapses fix. Institutional. And it's an institutional. Yes. And in Fabra Masakunda for the last time. Yeah. Masakunda knows some of these weaknesses. But there are times when weaknesses that Malika Silo detail so they ignore it. Yeah. They ignore. New thing that for a foreigner to in fact get a birth certificate in Senegal, in other parts of the world. Look, if Italy,
Yeah.
Let's say for example in Italy, students among the coming multara bakri, student will need near blula. Coming upon did that among blula. It takes you 1 year. Come, I'm not talking about multara bakri. You have a valid visa, you went to study. For you to have access to the immigration blula for your permit, student permit, it takes you 1 year. My boys that I live with, they are watching, they can attest to that. That's how difficult it is to access a national document in other parts of the world. He studied outside, he can tell you.
Even ordinary Morocco is very, very difficult
to
access documents.
To access documents.
Nila study period expired. They force you to go back home first before you can come back.
You can apply.
And you have another,
I'm telling you, in other parts of the world, I did not go through that, but I have seen people who are going to Italy 1 year for the passport will be expired, the visa will be expired. Then you can't blue, then you can't permit also. That shows how they strengthen their national systems, but also how valuable their national documents are. If you get there legally, you need to go through a certain process. Okay, the learning bongo ga hampampalang. It's in an easy ride.
So I have a preliminary report about what happened in Fonkoekunda.
Okay.
Yeah, so the report I received is that some NPP operatives tried to register non-Gambians, and according to my source, the numbers were about 100 people. So they first brought in 30 people at the center, and then hid the remaining 70 in the community there, Fonkoekunda. So later on, they want to bring the remaining people, and then IC rejected all of them.
IC rejected all of them?
Yes, IC rejected all of them. So the persons who were involved in this operation, but I'm not going to mention names.
Okay.
But just be clear that this is another NPP plot to disrupt the registration and to infiltrate the registration with illegible.
But it's good that I'm so proud that IEC is taking this bold stance.
IEC, some of their distinct.
They are taking bold stance.
I have said it before.
Yeah, they are taking bold stance. That is good.
I said, I see any document it is not valid. Niko hali. Kolbeke you not register. But nefen nati ya authentic code is valid. Itol fananta fala ko hani ate kelaja ya nteka luwalefo ntesa idea soto mbesa idea soto nga kachanga sata. At the end of the day is a merry go round. Luwa memfo will be lola.
That's correct.
This is not something new. We've been going about this. Us in the political field, we engage, we meet with the IC, we dialogue, we agree, we disagree. At the end of the day, Luaya Memfo Wole be Lola. Nafo Jam comment to IC made some suggestions. Atata Parliament Wole Afai, Jumani Wole Afai, Ibe, all the parties, they did not agree. It's not bad to give ideas. But at the end of the day, IEC can only tell you what is in the law.
What is in the law?
Lawyer Memfo, when they register people, they need to paste the registers at this centers. So people can go and check. If you not agree with it, what the law says is you go to the revising court. Can they skip that? They cannot.
They cannot.
You cannot blame the IEC for telling you that. That is the law. If we want changes, change the law. That's what we should advocate for. But as far as that is the law, you cannot go past that.
But NPP have no political commitment to change the laws. If you have
my suggestions,
you could have done that.
NPP, we're discussing generally what should happen.
I agree. So all my argument, in fact, down to that the issue of the revising code, the issue of stamping the papers in centers, all goes to come back. One of the major issues of the NPP government, the Borough campaign promises, key among them is the electoral law reform. And in Benyimbe Fokanteng, these are conversations people had on the electoral. Who drafted the electoral law? The government. They knew all of these problems are there. So now we are saying that we don't deny that is the law. We are saying that me mu foka wolen ko bibe loi dara kan fetel malon ko nyilon promote mole mu raise num
and muna na kabita house auto.
You know what they did? You know what they did? They know how broke we are as a country. One ko wuli nakala million fula. Can register. It's okay, no day.
Yeah.
But they forgot that the issue of the attestation were more than the They forgot that the revising costs are not effective. They forgot that IEC should be accorded certain level of powers to control our electoral registration process and electoral process in general. You know, the IEC have discretion to do bylaws. Let's say, for example, electoral code of conduct for media, for A, for B, and for C. So I'm not denying what Du is saying. What I'm saying is the NPP government had all the opportunity to fix those laws before today. That's where the point is. I 2016, I maybe around 22, 23, but I started my first degree. We know that Atata Nada, the main agitation in this country in that time is laws. The electoral law, the constitution, the Public Order Act. This is why this solo went out.
Yes.
The electoral law. Why was he arrested? The Public Order Act. Why couldn't he be defended? We have a weak constitution. Now they knew this. So that's why I don't want NPP.
There was no NPP. That's why.
No. There was no NPP. But Dodou. Listen.
I don't think we should say to be doing politicking.
No. I'm not doing politics.
Lua na beteata mbele. Listen, who is the guardian of the constitution?
Barrow is the president.
Is the supreme guardian of the constitution?
Barrow can just sit and tell you what laws should be in the constitution.
No. But if he have the will to do what is right,
political will, he has the numbers in the assembly.
Commitment.
When did Barrow has the numbers in the assembly?
For the past 2 years. Actually, not true.
What did Jumale started? Listen. These numbers we are talking about, a greater number was had in the past.
No. Okay, let me come.
What was done?
And I said this here.
Exactly.
When UDP had the National Assembly members, they messed up. They did not fix the laws that they were supposed to do, including the law that came me at in a solo and then finish the Fafat. And the Monday now for January when I had so with Marnion. But at all Fanang, Kabo 2017 for B, Alma political will sort of to change.
That is
NPP. Niaje from 2021 man election also. Baro na la mol min left baro la wole na vote na constitution of 5 banta. No, we cannot
at that time ntetije. Listen now, no see. They can be able to defend that.
My brother,
I was in there at the time.
But now you are there.
Yes, now.
So you guys have
I can talk about what I know. That's why certain issues when they are raised, then I don't have knowledge about.
If you understand party militancy, you cannot tell people that I was not there at that time. Of course. The moment you are there today, you are a member of that party. And that is why you were not part of that time. Now you should have not tell me that was not an NPP government, because when I said an NPP government, that's what you said.
The point you are raising. I said no. At that time, there was no NPP.
At that time, it was by default.
Don't say that.
If you listen to me, I will accept.
I'm not stopping you from expressing. I just make a point. You can say yes, there was not.
No, there was. You see, by default, if we say an MPP government now, it starts from somewhere. And who is the head of the MPP government? Barrow. Who was the head of the coalition and who made those promises?
Barrow.
Who formed the MPP?
Barrow.
Now let's in fact say that the MPP was not existing. When did the MPP started existing? In 2019. 2020.
2020. Into effect, but it was Barrow
movement and
Barrow Fans Club. And
now from 2020, 2021 to now is how many years? 5 years. Let's forget about the. In fact, the promise was made in 2016. Which government do we have right now?
President.
And how many bills have been passed by the AG at the National Assembly?
Including the president retirement bill.
Exactly.
Including increasing his salary.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm correcting that regardless of it was a coalition, it was led by somebody that is now leading the MPP, and up to date they refuse to make those reforms, and nobody can take that from them.
It doesn't have the political commitment. It's not there.
Barrow doesn't have political commitment. he doesn't have the political will, and he's deliberate.
Yeah.
Because if they were outside, they understand that this laws ni mug luwa lati muyalongo e yenda ka falile so da mo la cartel. Hey.
Yeah.
If 2016 with no campaign based on Beijing code Mufokanteng, there would have been no 2021 and there would have been no NPP.
Yes, that's correct.
So you cannot say it was not an NPP government. And it was the same president that is leading the NPP today.
Yeah.
So nimbe tonya fala moyen bemunda ataka na wolenko ni luwal man falling because Adam Barrow malafi falling, ni luwal man falling because NPP man sakunda malafi falling. So foi bije bile bang, foi bije kurune bang, the responsibility lies on their shoulders.
In fact, when the first constitution was voted at the draft constitution, when it was rejected, at that time there was no NPP, but Barrow used his presidential power to influence MPs to reject that. So, you know, our political commitment to these progressive laws and reforms is zero.
It's zero. Thank you very much, Fatou. This where the whole point.
And that's why we blame him more. And then, of course, don't blame Talale. Melialon cause 2017 and in 2018.
I told him political wisdom. Janimbe move la to.
Omar cannot impose his understanding on me.
Okay.
I told you when I joined the NPP, I'm not an executive member.
Yeah.
I'm not in parliament. I don't hold positions. Now, when I come here to discuss, I will say what I know.
Yeah.
What I don't know, I can defend. That's why I said I'll stay silent.
Political will be jailed.
I'm not in the system. I have joined the party.
You just joined.
I have my you said you have been there since last year.
No.
And I even have cross-examination for
you people were not listening.
No, you are not listening.
No, he said
I can't announce no.
Ama announce. But it's a big announce. In fact, I want to announce that he was there.
In defense of Dodou, Dodou is not in cabinet.
But I want to
cross-examine even in their executive.
Dodou is not an executive member of NPP. Dodou is not a decision maker.
Speak for me. I
Dodou just joined the party.
I did not say Dodou, I say NPP government. Dodou wanted to defend to say it was not an NPP government. That's what he did. I wasn't blaming Dodou. I said it was an NPP government.
Yes.
Dodou said it was not an NPP government then. I'm trying to connect the dots that is not my thinking of exposing to him. Technically, it's the same government because the government is symbolized by executive. Right?
Yes.
It's the same executive with an executive
the
head.
regime is the same. It's Barrow regime.
So I'm not blaming Dodou for this.
It's the Barrow regime.
I'm not look at let's make that clear.
When somebody wants to speak
so somebody
want to speak
openly,
I will understand. But if it's somebody who know that you are against, I will allow you to express what you want to express.
Yeah.
I know Omar, not today. And Omar will not say anything that will be in favor of the government. Or,
really?
That is his standpoint, and I respect that.
Yes.
That's why I'm not going back and forth with that. When you know people's position, where they stand for, I don't push hard on that.
Yes,
I accept what you want to express, what you want to feel. I will not defend what I cannot defend. I will only say what I'm aware of and what I know. I have joined the party, yes. I have my limitations. And I will stick to that. I'm speaking on media. Whatever I say here that is not true, people will be there to debunk it. I'm not that type who goes to media to talk to police people. No, I stick to what I know. So many points he raised here. You don't see me replying or trying to counter
defend it,
because I don't have those points. I will allow you to express yourself. When I'm asked, I only talk about things that I know and things that I have information about. I don't downplay
now
people.
talking about IEC, let's go to UMC registration. IEC ko On Kerr Fatou. Imal to for directly, but even for mobile ne be On Kerr Fatou. Ali bureaus all over the country. Alla partita netalo alia che fu partita non fosse che fu Flavia Malo alia che parasol bala alia che motol bala alba che da silang alka kana congress la. What is the status of your registration as we speak?
Well, if I want to speak about our registration, I don't think I have the mandate to say that because number one, I'm not the official spokesperson for the party. UMC or the party. Also, I'm not a member of the team. They are going to IEC. So every relevant update, member I'm not privy to that. But So what I want to say is what I want to say is that Gambia Banco can then so until for me for la Gambia Banco can kulebe kiri me alon ko nte follow own personal opinion le what UMC we lala yalong amanke nka for iko we all had when Ahmad Ba stood at the Sukuta rally ako bi treatment tara itola government na wala la power la men ke tambita UMC la ako movement Taliban suda yi you understand and I bambandi bake ako tolbe fen ke kan iba make sure la ko wol kana register wala kana soto dang ando amanda woro fana ako 2016 scenario it all just on we repeat yalo we Gambia democracy undermine because ni nata luado wala ni afodam do be dakota IC fango senandle iko marasho to party reject IC cannot reject any party registration or application it's a maintain or they will guide you through the process until every condition or every requirement is fulfilled, then they give you your certificate for your register. So banya jente ka for molen nte la on observe nte ka tsire na bureau to nimbe jara most of the time I am at our bureau mol kanaje mol ka kataje mol kanaje ka register with us we do a lot of activity so because ngalon ko nyaji be UMC ning IEC to nya IEC iko la fa standard lela and they want participation in our democratic process. B, there is no movement or there is no party committee that shows the level of interest and commitment like UMC pour que democracy balundija because party don't be registered in Jah, especially in Melbe Alliance Party kono NPP. Most of them are parasites. Ibe seeing NPP because they are benefiting public funds. Iba susu kan metro. They don't have some of them in bureau soto. If you go around IEC, I can challenge IEC, let them go around and verify for party they call registered parties for a bureau sort in every part of this country. Among sort of they don't have structure table. So you have a movement in within 6 months we have World Congress, World Structural sort of village structure for constituency structural sort of regional structural sort of because if you want to be a party comment UMC or unite manna kafuko we want to just contest normal political tourist manna don kanadron ka fenke kata ni sijino bandete la no we want to be in this country kajeko banko nyana tala nyatule justice yeke banko mole la nyanto soto and we want to participate in that for centuries to come you understand. So Nina Tajibe electoral this thing I will read from the I think I have the image here. The laws me alonko nibe party apply la. Inyan na kaitul party registration inyan na kaitul inyan na clause me alonko inyan ni fulfill la. If you want to register a party, it's very basic. You understand? Those clauses are very basic in the sense that what requirement all nibe kela you don't have to wait until ibe kela party because what requirement all 4 years sort of follow before your registration is finalized. No for among those registration you must have a party constitution. And UMC we have a constitution that must be presented. You must have the name, the logo and symbol which must not be having any tribal or regional connotations. We know that part and it's well you must present the name of the executive body of the party because before you register, in fact yalon don't man na congress ke follow na national congress man ke so we don't have a national executive but there is an executive me alon ko you will present to the IEC kade ko nyulem party la executive or nyulem multi mel la ko they sign to register this party ngo kele ni bodo do fara you need to have bureaus in all the regional all the 8 administrative areas regional ndonga bureau so de SO nga so do farafenye nga so do soma nga so do bansang nga so do basse nga so do KMC nga so do birkama nga so do banjul we fulfill that and what be ka kele before be register la fam so ita fo no la ko okay parti kana fere ali bureau soto dom ali afen no bureau be soto lale ali la contract call sign ali la logo keje ko nyum karno la bureau
all be requirements
all be requirement adu ngo kele
but muna IEC be question raised la on people because obviously these are requirements before yela kaito dundi to
the other requirement be men fola wolem the 10,000 signatures anu ngalo mo jamaka modo be je o be ka
ale 30,000 le fonni
ha nga 30,000
IEC ya eko
okay yalom politico nibe these are technical issues. From my understanding, there were inconsistency with the names. And the formal they have to be uniform.
Yeah.
Nibe party name it has to be uniform. It has to be Unite, not UMC.
Yeah.
What inconsistency keda dol balale, and also the name of the regional administrative areas. Misal fe ni na LRR dole formal men submit. For example, it has to be Mansakonko. The administrative area, it should be Mansakonko, not Lower River Region. These mistakes happen, and these are technical mistakes. Although IEC, maybe you can say they should understand, but IEC the level of scrutiny UMC may receive. IEC nana mark party la jang. And I can insafo no party do register la jang. Misa ntet manjara nga tol fo bari wol register la jang me mol ya londe. But in total, we have make sure that we perfected everything. And I regret that Mebe Sudaman Najang, due to issues beyond his control. Don't you know the code of Senate Lajan Mearonko, Gambiano Niamoy, Ibalonal code, Kulebenin Koduma, and it's not because of Dolman Dokoke, or we don't do what is right. No, we have done everything, we have complied with everything. What 10,000 signatures has been fulfilled. And in fact, no example of it, that's just a formality. Because Bibi Lala Gambia Jam, Hani Momo Malafi Ben Sudala, Wole Malafi UMC La, Yalo Nening Alatema, Ninkarte Fighter B, we can mobilize 100,000 votes. Out of the total registered vote member Kilajam, we can mobilize more than 100,000 votes. So it have like 10,000 signatures is a problem for us. No, no fulfill and the 2 million. No, I can
give you that breaking news. I can give you that breaking news. That has been paid.
So, and I'm sure
that has been paid.
I don't know, sir, monetarily, because if you accept a deposit, then why are you withholding the certificate? So, and the confusion of double caring, especially when the IC chairman came and Garawale, because because movement today, South Menako, even on the ground, UMC level, and that defines our determination to shape the narratives in this country.
But you're not the only movement.
But in total, because Joe was not talking about even charity organization. He was talking about us basically. Joe should know that he have his mandate. He have mandate over registered parties. He should better go and regulate those ones. Maybe aspire to be registered. He should also make sure that they are registered. Then we register that he can regulate their activities or whatsoever based on the law. But as long as we are movement, more than to la Congress stop knowledge, because there is no law in this country. May have honey osusual ka Congress kele, football club ka Congress kele, fishermen association ka Congress kele, market association ka Congress kele. So you cannot say doing a Congress is an exclusive right reserved for only registered parties. Now for drunk, Joe Colley is misleading the public, and I think, in fact, Kabira's statement, I think he should withdraw that statement, because Mole Lua alone, and the law is clear for everybody. He went and quote the wrong sections of the Constitution. But one thing, for no UMC registration, from my own opinion, there is a political interference. Member K can do.
Okay.
And Minamo Dora topical for a maybe asking on him for a
Omar. So IEC ni UMC la registration issue. Now IEC chairman mo idea mo, even though I'm a UMC name, but I think mo jama ya subira ko be tolela. And I asked the other day, come on, Miss Niabula Katabama, Nigel, UMC mo kawe IEC chairman damte bela based ala kayam. But in 2021, Kabrin don't me understand no. Near signatures collect IEC ko signature not, because you remember in Dr. Cicela case.
CA
case kabrita tanu IEC. Iko signature be fulfill talbari ko banyula testament. Imela signature be se indila de. Imabe se indila de. Iko ele ko min teste ta regularize.
So that is where my question ndafa ko la nyinin kanum fofanala. So I want ndafa ko la nyinin kanum because if there are irregularities in the registration form, mul validate ko wol tale.
Guys, he moke de.
The first one.
Among you know from the match. All the 6 parties, Dr. Gaji Gonyolu, Golden Era Party, Nimpati level win
first one on.
Yeah, the Kaitul Bele say the way start fresh.
So we submitted fresh ones.
Yeah, because the other technical issues are like you said. Because a lot of people mix that up. I need to clear that to people that okay, Mbota Central River region, but administrative wise, if you come to election, it's Janjambure administrative area.
Yeah.
So Niatari come, let's say for example, you don't make that mistake across all the regions or all the administrative areas. And then finally, Alma UMC use in all the administrative areas. Then if the IEC return even papers that are valid, then there's an issue. They don't return all the valid because Bureaucratic found in this case of CA, the issue was with Banjul.
Yeah.
What they did was return the documents for Banjul and ask them to go and then file Banjul and regularize Banjul.
Let me come here. Maybe right? He doesn't understand, but what I know, because I checked, because you know, as a journalist, you will know. Yeah. But minke tawalam, itola kaito dolo. IEC is the system of society. Koika minke ning kaito nate kabe dundila system okono to check. So when they realized there were issues, there were few issues. Dolbije ila manifesto to. Dolby Yakadlado to unite instead of Dolby to Yakage UMC, one more type of errors. But also la kaito over Dolby Mansakonko Area Council or LRR, but Dolby for a more voters card solo. There was some with me along imang 2016 voters card yalo non valid sign. So instead of IEC kafoyeko alani area do wobe correctly woni area do won correct yela kaito bele sende tol da mantende ye wala ke gap la Dr. Gambe Golden Era la ye wala ke UMC la ye wala ke all these parties.
But I also have a question for Unite. Niater nung all issues were technical issues like administrative area and FENCO. It's just to get a new form and then rewrite the names that are on the form and just test those errors. Why do you have to go, oh, the stamp? Yes. The stamping part of it. Yeah. So far, I think the IEC needs to be held accountable for
Signatures matters.
Signatures matters. I got that. Now
they scrutinized our signatures. In fact, they did physical verification.
Maybe you have a new electoral law.
System could
also. No, I think system could also. System could also. No, maybe system could also.
I'm very frustrated with IEC that new leadership is not even about. It's not about their commitment.
No,
I'm very frustrated with IEC for the fact that they take so long. Maybe for United, I'm not sure it's our leadership, but IEC takes so long to respond.
Yeah.
This is a procedure.
Yes. So
but for 1 month.
So now,
you know, but now the process between moving to side. Kabiri inata kaitu kutol dundile. Now for process between moving to. Ye kaitu kutol dundile.
No, you know the
IEC I do. But I explain it. If I say me I mean to side, I explain it. IEC unite nata kaitu kutol dundile fresh. Ya be nati. IEC are very verify. Iko 500 ye issue soto wala almost 2016 they are correct voters card but 2016 voters card long. Iko purieta wal kamana. And also malong come Dodou 102 point something. You all for them for a manifesto to you all for them be change. So iko nim 500 women dest me issue soto me anko 2016 long. I tell you that. Itata all for them fina ye natina. IEC ya jubele iko barimbe saying technically, you go approved talbari ko me voter registration or always so la 500 or 11 verifier will respond to you.
Then why you agitated?
You all for but they already accepted in a payment. So say mimu isuti munatina the same IEC na to ko
acting like a party.
In that point,
but then you are not a party yet. I'm not a party fanatic.
No, Fadu.
You are not a party.
Wait. You made an example there that football club Fenko Congress, but now you people have already attempted to register. So partially, IEC could regulate certain things with you because you have already made your submissions.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That is different from if at all you have not attempted registering at all. You can go to Bua Zone and then do a campaign there and then nobody will say anything.
Yeah.
But now that remember that let's say for example they will not IEC will not accept your approve your Congress directly, but they aggregate observers to go to political rallies. Now they cannot, to congresses. Now they cannot approve observers to a congress of a party that is not registered yet.
But they cannot also stop them.
They cannot stop you. Yeah. What you gonna do?
And if they want, for example, handing on the congress, if we become fully registered, if IEC should summon a fresh congress for Unite as a registered party, I'm sure we will comply because there's a clause that says in the
Electoral. That's where the misunderstanding is. Yeah. You cannot hold an elective congress that will be observed by IEC when you are not registered yet.
Yeah. But now let them register also.
So now that's what I'm trying to do.
You can meet.
So you can go and meet and then do your elections and all of that as a normal congress. But an elective congress that will be approved by IEC, you cannot hold on that if IEC on register you. So maybe Joe should have communicated it in a more professional way
than Garawale. Before your congress, you need to inform them.
Yeah.
You right to inform them of the date, the venue, the time. Like they send their people to observe. Even if it's not an elective one, but they want to see how the process is done. Based on GALA constitution. Constitution Congress. But if they go on the ground, they do things different from the constitution. Now, change in leadership at the inter-party committee. Bring new leadership nata. IEC. No, I'm not talking about Unite. I'm talking about the IEC. Minul Bijeno, the chairman will be abondile, another new vice chair nata. We went to sit with them to congratulate them and renew the commitment that the inter-party ngamensoto with the IEC. And they gave us assurances ko kujama befalena. Akamem for patil mialonko. They don't have bureaus at other regions, etc. I see a Saferokel to all the registered political parties. I think starting from February, moving on, they will go around. They are going to check for all the political parties. Yes. They send their people. You give addresses to the bureaus and they go there. They have informed the parties. There was a press release. Every political party IEC has informed them. They have given them a duration. Let them work on it. Now, if their team goes around, at the end of the day, they will come back, sit together. Parties that are affected, they will look at the law, either suspension or the registration. Whatever it gives them. But the new leadership has taken that commitment that things are going to change. It's not going to be business as usual. Yes, there are parties who have registered before. You know, you'll even wonder how they got registered. It is a fact. I've been saying it in media that some political parties, up to me, they have even to be registered.
The circumstances in which NPP was registered is never clear. And they need to, if I know that is for the past, even though now there is a new leadership and new commitment.
The truth is, this IEC,
as a party, and
the truth is, this new leadership, in a scrutiny of political party administration,
they mean business.
To be honest, is very, 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 very strict.
This is what I can attest. This is what I can attest to. They told us in that meeting. I took minutes as the volunteer secretary.
Have a paragraph or any mistake.
You can get a little.
In that meeting, I am the volunteer secretary. I took minutes of what was discussed. So I was there. I heard what they said, and they told us their stance, and they are implementing.
And we want
this. I can attest.
I can understand Unite.
So Unite will be a bit frustrated. Time is going.
But the thing is,
it's not only Unite. It's not only Unite.
No, the thing is,
because what happens
I see to me men I see ko tolien ko after match it will matter party registration
and in IEC when wolu loyal letter wolu ndeka ni process of for la process la. And the thing is, in as much as IEC wants to scrutinize parties, they should also be careful because maybe in a model 5 political parties have abandoned their applications.
Yes.
Because IEC be scrutiny level ning. You understand? So I don't know if they are going to be that strict. They need to be communicating that. IEC need to be communicating properly. Election for example, if somebody wants to participate in this election, they have a right to register even at the last minute. Okay. Now, if you are going to be that kind of scrutiny, you need to communicate properly. If they're not communicating and they're just doing things in their own pace, in 1 month. That's not how institutions should work.
Exactly.
So I think IEC for the issues totally like that, and I think they need to fix that. But I love the level of scrutiny.
Yes, so I agree.
Because it's also is good for our election integrity.
Exactly.
What we are calling for is integrity in our election system. Now, the community political parties, although we call them to do that in the voter registration and in election exercises. Across the board, we want that. But I think scrutiny is really tight.
Selective scrutiny. I know this because we know what we have been through. And secondly, for Lafaka example, do use that. Yeah, the United application. Party, you can party member for some of them don't apply it without nobody knowing it. It was 7 party. It have one at the first, in the PRO statement on at the time ni Kabiriko party dol IC asked party dol ko reject which is not the actual thing. IC have no right to reject party registration. My biggest concern with Joe as the chairman of IEC is that Kabira on that platform, I think you must be more familiar with the laws. Movements cannot have candidates, independent candidates, something like that.
Yeah,
I misinterpreted that was a very, very bad mistake because
even the law, that's the National Assembly language.
Movement
I think that was a mistake.
Yes, but the Gambia Constitution guarantees independent candidates. If we are not registered, we go in. We will register. We want to register and we will register. We have made every
movement cannot put
elective. Only registered parties can have candidates. Yes. But that is wrong. So independent candidates can not.
So how you're sponsored? How you're sponsored? Is not whether it's a movement or not.
Party,
If
that you understand.
Only political parties, registered political parties can sponsor a candidate for presidency.
Nominate a candidate for presidency.
I mistake for
not apologize to them. So make a public statement.
So because if that is the case, then President Barrow would have not been candidate in 2016.
And even
SFR would have not been candidate in 2021. I think Joe needs to re-strategize his communication. You see, communication is not just saying things. Communication needs to be a bit effective on how you communicate. In fact, let's say, for example, I agree with Fatou that I like that our electoral system is going to be scrutinized. But it has to be overruled.
Across the board.
And also, it doesn't have to be used as a tool to frustrate new parties. Even though I agree, Fatou, everybody wants to build a political party. At some point, we need to make it a little bit difficult so that people know that, okay, because
I like that.
I like that.
Imagine.
But now, in between, let's say, for example, Neneche Yassin's claim. What part of the law said there is a month or a year or a time that the IEC can register or not register? It doesn't exist. If there's any, I'll have to read the electoral law again.
It doesn't exist.
So saying those things to candidates source beyond your normal intention to ensure that there is scrutiny, there is electoral integrity, and there is fairness in our electoral process. So I think Joe needs to just Uncle Joe needs to go back.
Adjust himself. And
so what I want Unite also to understand is this: do not victimize yourself within a system.
No.
So let me just land. You can counter.
He's making a point. Online what's happening.
So do not victimize yourself within a system. You have your papers and then documents at IEC, and you have a team following it up. Look, we are not partisan, but Gambians will stand with anybody who is treated unfairly, unjustly. But within the process, the moment you victimize yourself, it sounds a little bit of weakness for your institution. Look,
you don't have to be.
What did you say here? You cool. That all of this scrutiny, other political parties are affected because IEC don't have a choice, but the main bunch of it is because Unite. You get? But now you're not only Unite. Unite is not the only movement or party that is affected.
You're pinning yourself.
Yeah, you're pinning yourself. Also, when Joe said movements, okay, people can have divergent views, but we have a progress is a movement by Barrister Jaite. It's a movement.
I thought it was
I'm coming. What I'm trying to say is, look, I know, like sometimes, let's say for example, sometimes I will see people walk. You know how many times I get threats from not even government, but from people that support government, that government don't even know, but they insult me. You know why I don't go social media to say there? The moment you pin yourself with a certain
how
life,
sure are you that government doesn't know them?
I'm just trying to say, so government don't say. No, let me just learn. This is an advice. You know why I don't go out every day? Even yesterday when you buy go Africa TV, somebody is called to say that need to be careful. But the moment I run with those claims online, I'm pinning myself under a particular narrative, and that kills me and kills the people that believe in me. Let's fight back, but let us not pin everything on us. When Joe said movements, I know you will take the greater pin, because I said this, and I'll say this for the first time in camera. I saw you people debating. Forget about the numbers. Organization, structure, we will give it to you in the history of political establishment in this country. Few political parties do what you did in a few months to establish. Whoever not give that to you, the person is not fair to you. But now you need to stand firm on that. Do not allow them to victimize you. Do not be a victim.
No. Without Unite, if they want to do that, there will be no election. We are citizens and we will protect our right at all costs.
How can we stop the election?
Let's move on to the election. No.
That's a political rally.
Threatening people. He was threatening us. He was saying that it will test on Munekeda 2016. What happened 2016? What was Munekeda 2016? There was a 3-horse race. You understand? And then GDC broke away from APRC because Mama Kande was an APRC MP. GDC were allowed to register. In fact, not allowed to register because it's their right. We are not begging for IEC to register. It's our right.
You will be registered.
We will have our right in this country. You understand? So
they call
dictator.
But finally on this,
IEC once suggested in one of the stakeholder meetings that any registered political party, if they don't contest elections for 2 election cycles, they will be registered. Parties, no. They try to bring in laws. We throw it to the dustbin. I have to be honest, they did their utmost from the previous leadership to regulate political parties. At the end of the day, we don't accept. Even when it comes to campaign financing, the parties told IEC, you don't give us money, so you cannot regulate us. No, these are issues that it's good, it's healthy for democracy, but we're not helping them, we're not pushing so that it will come in nati, it's going to be across the board.
You know,
for example, government, they are using state machineries to campaign. Where's the law that is stopping it? Now, if you empower IEC example for them to regulate across the board, these are some of the disadvantages that you will be able to challenge, and parties would have fair play. But in most cases, as politicians, all of us, we are after our interest.
We have to understand. So that's it. Hopefully, before we come here again with any Unite member, they would have gotten their registration. Officially registered. No, we want you guys to be registered.
That's what you say, right. We are not begging for anybody. It's a right. Anything, this is a right.
I agree.
And we want to deny it. It's like declaring war.
No, we pray that before we come, then I have Congress. I registration also. It's a Congress.
I think before Congress, I think the police also need to give permit.
Yeah, the police, we have a meeting with them. You know, we are following up.
So maybe Kemo will come out with another news, but we hope you're able to hold your general.
Do the needful. We are just 6 months or 7 months away from election. More for participate. Let them, even Dr. Banja may reject, let them inform him to prepare if he want to come again and run.
The truth election should be inclusive.
No, it should be inclusive. And
look at what happened in Senegal. They went and changed their law so that everybody, more kind of political tool use, can more bond the election. That is wrong. And I think the right thing will do is to let everyone who want to contest, contest. And resources and they want to contest.
And let them support it because it's alone without people behind it.
Yeah, so near also to contest. And I think Pati Jamal application abandoned because of the scrutiny and others. So we encourage IEC to scrutinize applications, but also be flexible.
Be flexible and fast track it.
And fast track issues.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the election year, near you right man participate fully under their banner in the voter registration is because they are not a registered party.
But
they have to use
one thing I want to flag that IEC is supposed to also, let me be honest, to treat Unite a little bit, because when NPP was registering in 2021, they don't even have a bureau. In 2020, they don't have all these bureaus. Right now, wherever you go, let's say for example, outside the documentation, Unite has worked so hard to fulfill a lot. Today, every region in this country have a bureau. When NPP was coming at that material moment, they don't have, even they were incumbent, but they don't have absolute visible bureaus outside. So I think the IEC needs to really, parties that meet certain requirements, their applications should be giving that consideration. Sometimes I understand maybe there are parties within the 7 parties that are rejected that don't even have one office yet. For example. So that one they can ask them to go. But now that Unite have fulfilled the documentations, let them scrutinize the documents as much as possible. But there are a lot of things that Unite have done as a political movement or political party, I don't know. But there should be that. Party will be a market. In 2021, when they were rejecting CA with the Banjul thing, they don't even have a bureau in Salaj. For example. So I think these things also need to be paid attention to.
And also,
any political party that is able to come this far, this out. No,
now you are seeing that some parties are taking the leverage of a registered party. But what are they contributing in our democracy? They are not in the media, they are not in the public.
That is their right.
To be honest, you have to be honest, to be fair.
It's not a privilege. Everybody deserves right.
Pati min baby jang, mini alonko, mo fula pati lo, hani pati li le kongosto pati dolto. Inila muso pati li le nala muso na dim fula wala pati dolti. You understand? So those kind of things we have to look at that for now. Let's move on. Now I move on.
No man tarawala sa be patiola ni alonko register already do rije wol nana manta nationwide to inena ma hani rally killing August no political activity will menke and they've been in existence for years. Why are they registered as a party?
To just join coalitions.
And then look at Unite now and they are saying that we are still waiting. If they want fairness, let them do it.
I see, Joe. Where's the camera? Which camera am I on? Joe, my brother, you know Joe is my brother from London. We went to St. Peter's High School together. Joe, I think it's going to be nice to look at the Unite application and do the rightful thing. So if they have fulfilled the obligations of the registration, I think this is election year. We don't want anybody to paint IEC in fair, and I think create credibility issues. If every time we are talking about IEC in this light, instead of concentrating on what they're doing, then so IEC should fast track it. Whatever needs to be done, request move on, and all other parties
let me say this.
Fenke, Sidat, Yafa.
I think all these new parties are going to register 2021. Mul sound the NPP
even this 2026 party for now we are registered. APC and GPAP.
Yeah. So party full. I don't know the point. Party full
are the two last ones.
Party full out of how many parties?
2026 is a 5 ending law.
Really? 2 parties out of how many parties? So they get frustrated, and they,
but they have a lot of registration. But hopefully we'll try to get the IC people here, and hopefully we consider.
Lafta memfala no nkana you single out come
collective responsibility,
but he was reading go as the chair yes
Kabojo kata Jallow kata Sambujang kata na broda pa makan ibelom.
So let's say IC.
No, but he's the IC chairman. If they give him anything good, he will read it.
That's it. Joe, we cannot completely not say Joe, but I think it's IC.
Yes, after Jeffrey, because knowing him, the man he is, Joe is very straightforward.
Yeah, he is.
I used to engage him sometimes. He tells me this is what the law says, and I accept. Yeah. You can't push him further.
Yeah,
he's not straightforward every day, but let's continue.
Now,
allegations, yes, those are allegations, but it does not mean that it is. Joe is not that type of person. I can tell you that for free. If they want to put him in a bag, he will rather resign than the remote control. I can give you that for free. I know him personally.
Everything depends on how we are treated, especially if we are in the most crucial period of our.
Now let's move on. Finally, we're looking at this topic. The Omar P. Jallow, journalist of Mingo GRCS. He was the reporter at the Vice President. Saibo, I think we said this, and when we saw that you posted it on your page, and I personally called you, told us the story, we contacted Omar and we wrote the story. I think 2 days after, Omar came and said that was not true. He made us lie. And Dr. C said, fact check everybody. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm just talking about this. And I think after that, a few days after that, somebody contacted me again, telling me, Omar, somebody called him, he was being threatened, and there were some issues, and they told me, and they sent me his ticket itinerary and some other stuff. And I said, again, I'm not interested, because why? At that point, my issue was, he told us, go, Nyamanke. Say, Ninteta Tanga Fendo, Safakota, integrity. So I told the person, the only thing we will do is if Omar speaks on record or IFM for. But Namanke, we are not going to get involved in this. And I think I was told he was going to resign. He was not good, blah, blah, blah. And obviously he did that, and he resigned. And I said to people, when I posted call, we should, Omar did the right thing. I saw a lot of people coming after me. I don't read comment section. I don't. But people came after me and said, where is the integrity? This is even the integrity was at stake. Why would I say Omar 10 and 10 and 10 10? And I spoke from an angle where knowing what intimidation does to somebody. I spoke from that angle. And then yesterday, I woke up listening to some of the things he said. A farmer, I mean, based on a farmer. Now, listening to Omar, knowing the backstory, and now listening to Omar, Munela observationality of this entire issue.
When Omar was speaking, I saw so much of victimization, intimidation, and harassment and Yadala. And Omar's story reminds me and everybody of our cultural, societal, family ties and values. That Mobuke Farmer Soso. And Mobuke Farmer Soso, to an extent that Akebula Polomoko, we all face through this. I am a victim of that.
Yeah.
They wanted to contest for, I'm saying this for the second time in media ever. I wanted to contest for National Assembly in 2022. My dad was late, but the only man I saw my dad being best friend with went to lead. I did everything Fatou, more than a month from there. I was planning to go on independent. For Lumena NPP la Senko Bekering, atondi primaries be keri say no so kono ngana until ni mbama ni mol ni kalal tel siri e ko di am the NPP and ko ngata primaries la ko over my dead body but I saw my mom crying komba malundi lale komba kelete na akakumbole faka ngunuma bankoro fa billahi wallahi I went there even at the interview ground you will know that I was there out of pity, out of I don't want because if Bama Kumburi Saturday I went to the NPP. So when Omar explained yesterday, whoever knows me knows the least I will do was that. But if I could be cornered, not to promote, but I know how strong I could be. But if I could be cornered because of my mom, because of my family, because of your character, Omar found my delegation form to come to see you. Come I explain them. And he said things me along at some point. I found about Danka can do now okay. I mean, didn't know what the equally at a nyaunya. If funding Kiakono, Eko Bama si Danka, among Futa Kono. Fatu because Atleti Kano, but Famala come far dangerous to Bama come far.
Econime Famala Duasoto. Ibuka Fensor, Nime Bama Duasoto, Efon Fensor, Buka Barak.
So Omar was a victim whose father also have been used against him. That's how I will see it. But quote another Fatu, Omar revelation just I moved in the system that we had. It's the same system that is existing. Our entire transitional justice process is beginning to become some floral dance and so to impress, but deep down, rooted, the systems remain the same. You listen to what the SIS man told Omar when he went to the office for questioning. You heard Omar said that Sirunjai Kailako, the current deputy PS at the office of the vice president, will never be PS because Atema left Ike, because that is it, is UDP, but Atema left Ike. Abokat Dabo, is it Abokat Dabo? Abokat Dabo. His appointment as Director General of GRTS was rescinded because Siru did not go and beg. Siru called the president. Allegedly called the president. So Omar's revelation shows a rotten system, a broken system that have never been fixed from the roots. It's just in the surface that we do all these reforms, but what Omar said yesterday, you could see that Omar have been used, reused, and dumped. Even though not a comment section, what people's argument is, especially that want to support Omar, is that we could have, especially me that everybody picked from, I could have been arrested for giving false information against a public official.
Yes, we could have.
And I've been arraigned before court. I have one court going on. I could have a second court in the high court probably. But also you need to understand, Fatou, that I have been intimidated. Probably not to a greater extent, but I have been sent to behind bars and then say that nobody should see me. I've been incommunicado. Right? I have been caged. Right? No, I've not been caged. Attempt to be caged. Right? But I have been called by these people in certain circumstances, and I heard the things they say. So Omar, ataranada. Omar na case ya munkere kamol nyaay la kayita ni molako nyanta ka lole nyim banko kaje ko mo klinte sila la bunko na ay nyim banko samba nya fo ay nyim banko samba fadu gambia manke toure kunda wala kamara kunda wala njaay kunda so nim mo klin ko sembo so kamol balila do ko la kamol la hajo tinya woro system mo be kering system mo mu yelo nga nyanta ka falling and how is this system going to change? Everybody must put yourself in Omar's shoe. You know how many civil servants live because it depends on why if true Omar found that through that. But if you stand your grounds, I'm sorry, I will have to take an example. I don't take permission for, but Ibrahim Damfa is a good example at aviation. Where's Ibrahim today?
In the UK.
Ibrahim is doing well, extremely well. Ibrahim is working in one of the best universities after he has studied there. So sometimes for mola harjete mobulu. I understand. I know things can be hard. I will say this on camera for the first time. I applied for a job at UTG. The highest qualification for our UTG, for our University of the Gambia, is a master's degree. Everybody teaching there, few people above master's degree sort of. I was called to Canifing, and then 2 courses were allocated to me. The one that allocated the course, I will not call the name, but the person can be listening. And I did not hear from them again. When I made the follow-up, they said I was asked to be removed from the timetable. And an insider told me it was Dr. Ismaila that asked that I am removed from the timetable. And I went to, this one is not alleged because I went to doctor's office.
You went to doctor's office?
I went there for a meeting with information on fact-checking. And I was like, okay, I'm going to tell them on the timetable. I'm going to find it. I'm going to tell them that somebody UTG will make a protest. You know what I'm saying? Affirming that he did that.
Affirming he did that, yes.
And then he went for it to say, that was a September semester. I will bring you in the January semester. What is in January?
Wow.
And look at the resources you have.
This was in September, around September. And we will put you there in January semester. I'm on camera. Ismaila can come and tell me he did not say it. I went there with somebody. So imagine that this is what the system is. And those institutions, in fact, are supposed to be independent institutions. The University of the Gambia is supposed to independently recruit based on competence and qualifications and merits. So how many more people are going through this? Fadu. So Omar case, like I systematically reveal me along, we must all come together to fix that system. And I said this on TV yesterday, and I'll say it again. And one of the problems in transitional justice process, we have seen what happened in Tunisia. We have seen what happened in Cote d'Ivoire. You know what is the problem? Recycling the enablers of a former dictator. Their mentality, their attitude will never change. Probably their positions will change. But if you enable and bet a dictator, it becomes very difficult for you to become a different person in a new system where you have power. Especially for people that don't have excessive power in that regime, when they're able to stand and want to put this country on flame. Those people have power now. They will bring back that attitude. They will bring back that system. And they will manipulate the system to ensure that and that's what is happening. You know how many Jammu enablers, both financially, human rights, and whatever, have been recycled in this system? You want the system to automatically act different from the Jammu regime? That would be difficult.
No.
That's no. It doesn't happen anywhere. And then that is why in transitional justice processes, the first #1 bill, if the laws and everything, is the vetting bill. You know the purpose of the vetting bill is to vet, to ensure that the system is free from this kind of people. Because you keep them in the system, you're going to change papers, but the human resources, which is more fundamental, will remain. And that's why we have a vetting bill. In fact, we have a vetting bill. But that vetting bill is more terrible than the regulatory bill and anything. But vetting bill in order democracy and in transitional governance is to ensure that recycling is not done, so that we don't keep people that build, maintain, and support a system that led us to that transition. So this is the point Omar is in. Saibo Jah called me the afternoon that he forced Omar to come out, and Saibo Jah did that purposely after my interview at iAfrica TV. Omar kaya call kaya kung kaya Saibo move kaya faniandi. And people called me. I told them, look,
Saibo Jah called you.
Saibo Jah called me, and I told him I'm not going to talk to him about this case. If you have anything to clarify, let him go to the media.
Oh, God of God.
Yes. I can see him in Mumbai in turntable silver and the Brian call. I call private number because I have Saibo Jah's number. But deliberately I don't know call a normal number for Untachical.
I know private numbers.
How about WhatsApp? I can call me WhatsApp. I can call me WhatsApp later. Because he has called me a couple of times for us to meet, and I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So Brian called me, I'm not interested to talk about this. The way Omar came out in the meeting, because I've been briefed that Omar was going to make that statement. So mentally I prepare for it. And the people that call me, look, for me, I'm not going to blame Omar. I know the truth will come out no matter how long it is. I would rather wear a liar cap for some time and get vindicated than I see violation, harassment, and intimidation and say simply because Father, you have been in this situation. You have been a victim of a regime.
Yeah.
And you know how it works. And Sidou Jah is a recruit of that regime. So we should relate how it feels. So at another, we have a broken system, Fatou. And it's only Gambians that can fix the system. If in 2026, after 22 years of dictatorship, people can be intimidated and lose their job because they invite another political party leader or a movement leader or a Gambian son to a rally or to an event,
to a mayor
of a state, then Fatou, there is a problem. Probably the next time I'm invited to an event, they will arrest those people as well and they will lose their job. And then it becomes a systematic attitude that will lead to a lot of people, innocent people, breadwinners of their family, losing their job. You see why Omar's father ran to Sidou Jah? Not because he only want to succumb to it. Because he thought, for once, probably they will not have a bag of rice next month. The house Omar started will not be finished. And people will say these are not excuses, people need to be, but we don't know each other's level. So, at another way, there's a system that needs to change, Fatou. And then I thank God all these revolutions are coming in an election year. And I'll say this here, I'm not a politician, but as of now, for the past few months, keeping a Barrow government is catastrophic to our democracy and it's catastrophic to our progress. And then this is the thing. And then people supporting President Barrow have a right to support President Barrow. That's their constitutional right, but they must support the truth.
Dodou.
Yes.
You have seen Omar revelation of Moile, and I think some of them are a little worrying. Some of them are very worrying, especially the deputy against the deputy speaker, Honorable Sidou Jah.
Yes.
Number one, to say that Sidou Jah koitolelo ko Abubakar Dabo Kabria appointment Fontonga announced after Nata for he let him put on hold. He even explained the entire process. Sidou Jah Katele Barokol, Kabrai Barokol, Ako Baroko, Foite Malonko, Nimu UDP, Baroka Nyadila Kaiko. Have you seen what he's been writing since 2021? I put the Baroka Minister I recommend Wolong Queen Jameda Kaiko Akaiko because her body that's how they rescinded this guy's appointment. The truth of the matter is that incident Ketawale Nyama Mafo called him Mofo, but this guy was appointed and then Fakata later Okama until a break he was appointed and then in Atafuko no you put on hold recently and stuff like that, and then after subsequently Yanata rescind. So hearing this guy saying the deputy speaker is diverging a conversation with the president to a group of people, that alone is a very serious security risk, number one. But number two, also succumbing him to do certain things to say go because Omar Saibo and stuff like that. Even a farmer being scared because of farmer alkality and being scared, and that Omar also was going to lose his job, or this PS is an opposition, even though the vice president recommended for his promotion as deputy speaker like at PST. This Mr. Cisse guy, Sidou Jah because he's UDP. All of these things are serious allegations against the deputy speaker. What do you make of Omar allegations?
Firstly, Janning Omar, the Palazzo Bedila Momola, based on a bit patimento. Misal fesuta mari nama itandi kafo kombe patikari menyanta jibela ala qualification for na palaso mara menyanta ababe woke nola back in 2022 or 2023 kulom mialon ko keta nyala ngalong mialon ko inata ka report di mol minul de système okono and their UDP. Man lafika 12 for Dobije B amu ministeriality. President Barrow MM4 ako memba determine la pa mari be to la palaso to wala be bondila wala mala doko abe menkela. And men nata ka complain very close to the president. This is something I can affirm to. Wala tin ante believe ta ko mo manyan ka bayi wala ka bali palaso la eske ka party men support. Bari men nyanta jibela maybe fabe do ko samanola wala ala qualification. Manyan ka civil service, you know, ka law based on those particulars. Bi mo jama be system ko no all the party men do ala damale o. Mo sa ko mbe koma e ko befo bari ni dunta carte ka fay dama bu ka fay anu nin ka fintile every election ni fintita mo jama katare ko bari ni carte fayta kontita mo membe koma itena ta ka carte lulu sor san tanim lulu nyin wolle wo damma mu karangole bari mol nyala surtout to la système secret papa ku dolo Omar la ko ku jamale ba kono ya fo nyame membe fota menum platform to kabring Omar yala kol defo a finti ta faniandi ndefe o mo mistake bareti hanna tara ko menketa fa malo mi ba mal ku do bije mo buka mo manyan nason na kawakela surtout ni be journalism kono la integrity a nyinin kale ethics dolbi jele imanyan na kawo compromise kufula amanyan na diamu nun ka fo ko fa hani nyinu le men fon to nyante no matter what pressure surtout situation dolbi jele yi fango nyanta kalon ne ko is either this or that ate bayno bi misal fe membe kasata na tara la ko kachaketa Omar Murtabak abe num palaso mento ku jama bi jembe men fola fabe ni folal ba modo fana ko la nyen ate kengola parce que if you are in ku do bi je ta fola bari ni be bantana ku jama se fono amman kilia nte ku jama bi je a sata surtout ate nala fama tema nte damma wo manyan nala to the media yajo ku dobi je alfa na dingo tema al discosta men na manke ku bete ku bele kasata banta bari based on reasons alafta pour molia understand men beta mata men bekata fakayam fo dani pour fama sayam fa bari fo bekela ku dolo jama bije Sidi Njai ngamera Sidi anyanta fanjibela mafo ko komtonya long ta certify la ko 100% wolom bari chodiro se atabake ngamera nyanta sila fanjibe ku dol katama nyame wo nyanta jibela tonya ku dobije safo ko no nsake no fente bolaje bari da mo nyanta sila la bake anu misal fe ku jama men ka finti mol ka men fo hanna tara toñanteng bari isinya ajibe ku ya dada ko de lafta wala amarla banko mansa kunda bi abekeri ne sama membe nala no malo yaje oto nyin kol nyanta jibela wati dobi je ku jama bi je politique kata makon andum politique na be loring mo dolbi je len skilinde be ika wala dum wolom na interest akalo wala fe anatara adi oda en dolbi je buka kya baki mtel after men na wayelo this partisan politics I am batandi nyim banko ka you know molka for some of our institutions na parliament and ninjang the key issues about it wala kake instead of kajibe membe mulbe na fala mumu bankola interest inkawa jenkendela momo ala standpoint ala lodola menti membe na fala amo embatandela anu nyinkol be ka bondi nte always be advocate la loi wala tariata nyinkol wa mu nyinneti mota sang wala
strong institutions
nyanta je jibela bi nyi banko ni ko policel atebanna pour ka ça fait nyanta bari pour ka wol implement lo alese makoy no ayeke andi nyi ko nyanta jibela je definitely nyanta jibela.
Do you think Senior should come out and speak? Because to be honest, I remember Kabilo journalist or what when a journalist or arrest mobe ko Sidi Njai IG call Sidi Njai IG call all Fenkenyol Todo Voice newspaper and when I had an interview with Sidi Njai told me categorically clear, even showed me some evidences he was not involved in that, but he never came out to address it. Kabra Findida nim ko keta imake ilata ko itemake Findia address and when I said this to him, you're very young baro meta janyawo nya abitala you're young. Fonata emal fi fena nyimba goga fona ya tara imanta sira nyim banko kan idingoli mamari bebe sira nyim banko kan ni ko few fen kita banko kay ko Sidi Njie ko kete ko Sidi Njie
for every bad
and they boka fintina diamo. How does that make you look like as an individual? Is that good? Do you think he should come, especially being the spokesperson of the party? You might be internal address, especially, but also a conversation about him and the president was diverged. Ko atele nyim foko ay for president and president ay work. And min tonga de ko woku wala keta. Imam be Sidi Njie yenta fintile na min keta fane side of the story. Now Gambe no sajibe. This is the side of Sidi, this is side of the Omar. More left them believe, but at least if another side get on the table. Imam.
No, of course. Wole nyanta kela Sidi media lonne a meta media tu amanke BT.
Yeah.
And unte believe tawala. Ni ko ku findita, nyanta engage la media kacha yake.
Yeah.
Misal fe dol kabori men wolom inin doli esi like panel.
Yeah.
Sometimes the people can
challenge.
Nka jele for nyanta Richard la andung anyanta that grant la le kacha yake I call dol coin.
Richard.
Yalo nibe daring kuma dol bije maybe fang a ketale bari afota nyame one thing atele sa coin kaje ko koli tembe. Surtout misal fe mol quand même fo natarate nim president yo kachale president famo balo
yalo president balo na
afamo balo
yalo
bari natarate nim
temalo president baro yalo Sidi Njie yalo nata nyin ko min Omar yafo nata Sidi nyin president baro ni Sidi nyin kacha president fana be sila bablo yala ninte ni nyi fo fen kacha natarate fana kasi mol ko na ko mol lefo
no
this is a very serious issue
ninte sita ninte nim fatu sita kachata ngamen kacha nata kamo Omar Dala andu ngalo ne kon temafo woto mbafo la ko fato la fa wo is just simple logic nin ko le kata andu mol nyante hakilo to la wala nini mo sital kachata fen I lata mo la nyawanya kana fa hani la muso diata sama se ko ya andu emem fa anu asafenti ku do bije is confidential ayeto nyam ina ma
so ko nini alpha close
exactly wo damma mu bunyaleti wala tin nan ko even Omar la side anafa ma ku do bije amanyan na kafa at the media isa mo intno kachata nyin na bari do bring the exact words abemen kata for at the end ka yam for dani on media no ntefe damma o manyan na kala yam for nabe dani is between you and your fan anun ku do bije hanni media invite jani kataje si ya faeko lafta nyini fola wala batel na nyini yekoy ku do bije hakelima assession ku dolla de ite balon na ibe mem fola anu ibe mem tula kona
mol fanan kam info Omar yamira natra no yamrondi vice president la office nyin kacha
are tala media to no o tekela mbe nyimmanke signa foloti Omar fo janne mbebe jimbanko ka nyinku si falka kel but it depends on which side itebelor in parliament wa nan ko namurtano hani pour kata mi reto ka ku dol sene andata kela andum initially just immediately naketanu kol bije ko resignta yalon kol fana labanta nyame atela bannawol then you have the confidence mol te hani la fan ka fa ko nyimfo wala nyin safe they will not control you but if you are in the system every system in any part of the world symbol is powerful because either you are part of it or you find excuse but it have ko handle bad decide la men they attend them wala tala no around the world that wala for a system is a system imma iba kon wala e finti yolo banta comme Omar Sifa be nyame amantara kono as a sino jang ay government criticize ala call for manson nyina baroten den bari member system o kono attaque no la wala tinani dol bije ni invite for interview it's a problem kuma do bije dia moment easy it's a kuma dol for itema kala mota it's a problem deal inte na understanding to latina ni dol pour kana media to kakacha akake problem yes
Fofana nyimbe mi ya sabolom atola leader ko wala invite me ben suda to join ko wala invite akam to ko ngandu ko dio fana moy e bi mo la forum mo to akam to to honest you be ke kam problem mo tide nyuno UMC no audio do la moy janga be ko la telephone ko la NPP keni wala forum ko billahi fuladu mangi wa NPP ako nyimbe UMC be ku ke kan jang so ko kabila motorcycle dunda na njaa. So it looks like Because I understand, if just an ordinary politician, invite program or that should not be an issue like this. But it looks like, I don't know, I don't know, political point star, unless they invite issue on this issue. Even though, yes, it's something me alonko was wrongly, your handle is very wrong.
Yeah, so I'm for a drone, coming for the threat. Me Talib Ahmed Bensouda. Be threatened Barola mentan bira Talib Ahmed Bensouda. I will just recall a short history. Yalong Baronole Amira, NPP Amira no Talib without a UDP ticket is irrelevant. But they know it's not about Talib Fang. The quality around Talib, Gambian or Lafta Walla. So the quality around him as a good leader, as a quality. Talib as a around the personalities. Talib has quality as a person, as a leader. Gambian or Sulata Walla. Okay. So wala ning invitation on me kafoting. The day Meo Bita Kanje, he passed by the bureau. That was the first time a lot na soma bureau kamol konto atambida and then this thing happened naraje ntengaje first ngaje no brother Camara pejoto ko ye yala passport Omar la passport and they call him for questioning. He was called for questioning by SIS. So ni abdejibe politically me asa bolen ko me Bensuda invite Sarah Gainako and me Bensuda take out him being a politician and opposition and somebody vying for president. He's a mayor. If Sidinja have any respect for authority in this country, Sidinja should never be unhappy with a sitting mayor of the biggest metropolitan in this country go invite to a fundraising program. Is that a crime? Mayor da mama ke politician or they can invite every society in this country, every community, every village. You have every right to invite anybody to your program. As a politician, Misal Febi, I can tell you, there is a football final that is going to take place in Kia Central. You may invite the but should be there maintain. But the itinerary of the final running, when you invite Imar Claire, who is the sponsor of the final, it's just recently we discovered that it's an NPP sponsored final. Nimbalef we talk that is a political event. We know that now this is an NPP final. And if you go there, you are not going to get the center stage. You understand? So near invite event invite. If you think even discomfort with somebody's present, who are the other invited guests? Ask them anything you want to know. It's like maybe you might not feel belittled or whatever. But this can be for Sidinja have an ego. That ego is fooling him, because if Sidinja think that at any mail will be not latole at a relevant sort of, he's just fooling. Sidinja compared to mail is just like elephant and ant. No. Politically unrelevant and integrity.
No. Siri is the deputy.
Based on any deputy speaker of the National Assembly. Unpopular.
Number 4. Siri is the acting president.
That is national.
Sometime last year, Barrow was out, VP was out, and Fabakari went to pub or somewhere.
That is the position. But Sidinja as a person.
Siri is very powerful.
As a person, he doesn't. Sidinja cannot sit down the same table with Mayor. He have this inferiority complex. That's why he withdrew from the event and then he went and harassed. Yes, I thought that, but did he stay there? Based on the testimony. No, but Sidinja left.
Mayor for say
according to
Mayor I see it today.
They have to come back on that very day. And also, remember Sidinja should understand that in fact politically Mayor will sit the same table with Barrow because Dolka President. So if he is a backbencher for Barrow, let him do that. I think banning maybe MC Champion, they are all in the same category. But Palasol man kill him. But politically, this is Sidinja's level. So, but remember the red flag is Sidinja is somebody. 2016, Mina Gambe being Atina Modo Lafagulu la Uluwato Masi, Dol Udata Jam. 2016, Sidinja, that 7 days minister, I mentioned, we saw tyranny in our eyes. Sidinja is a Naji Bedro, you got tyranny, Kawalaje, and in dictatorship. Sidinja image, na Kafan Koros, he come for he need to reflect on himself. Because this ala track record is so bad. So people seeing him doing the same thing. I'm coming from Mole. Sidinja man first start for because among power mentioned before I found your power cannot be and he think that he can abuse it. Yeah, we have laws. And it's not about the laws. Not all the laws we have here are bad. But maybe law. They abuse it. You can't abuse it because they think they can abuse it and nothing will come out of it. And that is what Sidinja is doing. Why Sidinja will interfere in somebody's appointment? What does Sidinja have about judges or how they should operate? Fighter Kafuko, Carla being a director should not happen because there are many states you more respect. That's why when fact checker fact check. You fact check a lie and you still come and lie on top of that fact checking. That is the Ministry of Information. I don't know why they are still silent after this clarification. They should come and say something.
No, he said something. It's doctor will always say
Doctor can't confuse Tali. But he will not confuse because ni man konya fasa ibet la confusion or kono. And you are putting your integrity at stake. So the most important thing is la for Gambia no dandala men. Tyranny is in this borough government. I'm coming if you want our democracy to go back to square one, demanding for Bedenilla for beta for 0 Albaro Tambindi another time because that time will be called Belemurunda Koma. That's why we should do everything possible. Kadeko Baro Bonin because that time is going to compromise everything and people like Sidinjai, they will now feel like they are demigods in this country. It's a symbol used on the vulnerable and impose themselves on people. Maybe because of vulnerability. That just like Omar La case. Nyeme expose Sidinjai is a very dangerous person. And one thing enough, today I saw one article. They are alleging that Sidinjai is meddling with United application through his proxy to Joe Colley. All these things are there, but Tumirome Beka ke ni molka kuodolje in the public ika kuodolje misal fe Umar la case say hanya Sidinja Tumiko atelka minister appoint who will argue with you because we are seeing some things. So andum fanani na national security Sidinja is I think the head of the National Assembly Select Committee for Security or whatever. But how can you be a security when you go and tell the president's conversation to people anyhow? Is that a security? He is a threat to the national security. So, kujamal be kerinjang, amakado ba menti wala gameno arigista nyama alia mexo nga falindroke this 2026. And then minimum malafitali be suda jala people like Sidinja and others, let them brace for whatever because we are coming.
Okay, yes. You are coming finally. Sidinja, I hope hopefully Sidinja comes out and clear this because there have been a lot of allegations and some of these ones are very serious. This is not political. These are very serious allegations and to be honest, I think for his own interest and for the interest of his family, he should come out and clear the air and just speak whoever he wants to speak to. But I think he just needs to make some clarification on these things. Dodou,
I believe he will.
You think? Yeah, I believe so too. I believe he so. I have spoken to him. He has called me. I think he wants to speak about this. Yeah, he's disputing a lot of, almost all of these things. He's saying it's not true. He spoke to me, and I think he wants to speak on record, and we have opened our doors to him. Hopefully, he will speak.
He should stop going everywhere. Sidinja is acting as the president. People seeing him everywhere. He's making citizens uncomfortable.
But
that is the truth.
No, but he's an executive member of the NPP.
Yes.
He has right to be.
You can go, but meddling with state institutions is something that that is not his mandate. That is beyond he's he's going
Listen
beyond the
to
limit.
him speak. You'll know whether it's factual or not.
I mean, I spoke to him. I spoke
let's
to
just
him
give
twice.
him the
I
benefit
spoke
of
to
the
him
doubt.
twice.
Let him also respond.
Yeah, hopefully he called me this morning. Actually,
I think I look forward to to Siri speaking.
And Siri wants to speak.
That will give back to new evidence and new revelations. But until then, we keep
let him
calm and listen
speak.
to him.
We can conclude.
Yeah.
So let's give him
let's.
the
I think he should also remember that in this history of this country, there are people that were very close to power to the extent that Kafwe number 2 president, second president, but be all married. So he should know that nothing lasts forever. If you victimize people, it will come back to haunt you. Karma is real. So Sidinja should have this at the back of his mind.
Okay. Sidi is watching. I'm sure he's watching or he will watch this show. That I know. He's always watching Kerr Fatou.
He follows media.
He does. He watches everything. Sometimes, me, I say all these things about it. Yeah, but he's also a Democrat. You can say anything to him and he will call you tomorrow. He will call you and attack you and fight with you over the phone, but he will call you. That's one thing.
He practices democracy, not democracy. Sinja is not a Democrat.
Okay.
Somebody who make people lose their job cannot be a Democrat.
You have another point there. But hopefully he comes. I don't want to say anything about him until he comes because I want him to come. I want him to come.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So finally, did you hear the Maimuna Sise comment on the other day?
Based on what people said, but I did not listen to her comments.
Yeah.
Because I did not even go to King. Like I said,
we posted it. I saw it somewhere. We posted
I'm very busy with the registration.
Yeah.
And the role I am doing, it's like solo.
Yeah.
In my absence, nobody's stepping up to do that. And I want to see it to the end.
Yeah.
So that's why I did not even go to King.
Okay.
And I'm not following social media that much. Because after going down, I do write a report, send it to key amongst them so that they know what is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have not seen the comments?
Malamoy bari ngamoy I am for.
Yeah.
And nga friend read on Facebook about Minister of Information, Dr. Ismaila Sise Mensafe, say that whoever says anything, they should own up to it. The president should not be blamed for that, something like that. Maybe read no, but I just read like halfway through it.
I think that is hypocritical to me because if you stand on a presidential platform and make insults or say certain things on the president, this is not a campaign platform. This was a presidential platform paid for by the taxpayers. The president was there to lay foundation stone for something. It's a government project. It's not a political platform. And for Maimuna to come and say those kind of things against elderly states people and even quoting more Furella call for, that Maimuna is my aunt, but that was Maimuna Munte Badim Komtolom na anklo. But I think that was wrong, and I think it's below her position as an elected, as a nominated National Assembly member. She holds a very high position, and I think some of Nkanadum political season olokono. Being NPP, being UDP, UMC, anyway, all political parties, particularly in elections, what we should preach for is ila program wafi, ila agenda wafi, ila ko wafi. But a low political platform, especially that of the president, because president is the number one citizen. Ika kumol for me, kumol me akamanila from Puke. I had to listen and listen and listen and listen, even to publish it on our page. But I made the final decision to publish it because the government people need to hear this. It's an
video in Intimidation.
Yes, okay. I published it. I made it. It took me 30 minutes. Convincing myself should I publish it or not, but I made the decision to publish it because it is right that government people this is what happened, and it was said on a presidential platform. And I think those kind of things, honestly, kadum political korabe akaminati na ngolo makafitino ulo anu Gambia doyata la mala fi fenna mi alonko abe fitino ulo sakoni mola alfa kumo fo mi alonko amanita
the wati incoming advocate dia mo anyanta korose madama nafuntita itamuta nola ando itamurendi nola fana do nyanta mem fala fonsa korose politico tana de dia mo akande ma wala nyanta fala annante mbesiri ndawda hanna tarani moma ngagri mbuka mo disrespect ko mato wala na manyato akumata bihamaro amanke maymuna dam bari momo itata politician ti manke ati de kafale ko anything membe internet dunia bele kaje dunia bele kamoy andum mila tabondi la tabondi no itela copy iteka wale bonni isa delete no bari social media katama nyame automatically na men dun taje doro ito la katara ila database itete ofindin no na mo nyanta hakilo tula na be de amon wati do bije kamoto nye osifa wonte tanati mala kumol mo exactly bari be wato talale ngala mo même fo na malla fika elaborate mo bari comme na moy mol ka fo nyame aga munta ko même fo mo jama bije man songala eno wasifa de inte be momo ya marla nyanta tula je politigo movement inta ka fole londo ani wolondo ye fero nyini ibawa fila molla de amunya fase nyinya ni lota ngamol ne wo jama bije bala na ko nyin amanku ise kuma jama fon anna tara ka mem fo tonya lo bara fonya o sati nyano bari ni dia mutanin kulwola do bije ani momme man la fila asela moyila kumola nte ngawo experience la personally mo jama kam fo akai ka fonya ko ni man dem patila la bari you can même for sense bizele mol kan encourage le amotaje be damen kana tuje ninga tinyanu mol te wofala bari wati do bije tebe dame ye memo même for woli e bulo ko siko wolo wo kani nini wo kani samba habibe keri de samba fandam bijele oto nyanta haklo tula be diamol men bondela ntembe wala ya maro dila momo
sire wato bankale may wona la statement o yaji nyaade
ala statement no the political season and then momo dolbeje bafa you can use any strategy to win over the voters even if it is maybe illegal or even if it doesn't go with our societal values and norms and then kumo Faimenkang is my former family political family or former party leader but kumo ning ntela all because nga video nyin jibede nga video nyin lomoy and I think Maimuna was too sentimental ala diamo kono because aka diamo meli ako jara kiyam badibu ko senu man fenke entode ko me aussi falten de mamira politico should be based on regionalization because jaran ko da mamang karam Kianko Damaman Karang, Badibunko Damaman Karang. The minister or any other privileged position, Imafoko, Cardinal, they deserve this quota. Oh, Cardinal, they deserve this quota. No, it's for Gambia. Gambia, we don't have a regional system of government, we have a one state. So, Lafaka Kumakling Bomban, the one I'm called NPP, I don't see any political party which is more devoid with ideas like NPP. While on the platform meeting, you hardly see them talking about ideas. And this is a ruling party. Let them tell people in Atamano integrate. After we bring another road here. We bring hospital. We bring this. It's over. But personal attack is a symbol for them. And don't have 6 and 9. We all know that. But I think with the emergence of Unite, currently how to make a very progressive campaign messaging. Because one thing for I go for the tribalism for them because according Usendago abuka mandinka afasa abama adingol baring musurwale so yeah. Okay, very so yeah, the NPP law statement sifal. Wo statement sifal in a political yang kamo back from NPP. Don't franka kele duma because benu njere. So when ya jente contanda because nde alone ntola alpha ntola leader motita ika tribalism card use no kan. Is immune to tribalism card. NPP ta phone ni ko ba fola. No. Dulu kalo mabula. Dulu ya political family lo kon. So membe je drum benol nyanalo nalko politico manken si kanyola sio attack wala kanyola regional attack kanyola dino attack no nim politician na mala idea wa finoe ama fo itela sama ase menke noe ila tax abadun la menkundo na mo fono ay fen foe kanadam ko ndolla message mi wala nin tata dawda ante nin tata ka street campaign keteng nim do beje nin na calendar kayay ni atandi lan ko e ko nying aye ni lonne ba ko he ngalonne ka do nyine be KMC de ika mew credit based on ye même moy ko ale même moy KMC ñin lafta ka ke Gambia betu. That is my message. Ndebuka ajam fandi fa. I make KMC alafa kanati Gambia betu even better and with more experience. I mentioned that is the campaign message in Gambia no men deserve. We don't deserve people telling us that Karibe si karle fasala, Karimu si karleti wosival. Among I don't think it's nice and we should do away from those kind of politics. Okay. And Maimuna should publicly apologize.
Okay. Saibo.
Ntibuka Maimuna munke amambeda. Bari Maimuna mamfenkela. Basi dangole yake. Fatou baro yonka hakilo to the model abe fitino wulinda nyimbanko. And so we are clear. This is not by just like me and you. It's by law that Barrow should be the biggest human rights defender, the biggest peace advocate, and the biggest uniter based on the constitution of this country. That he sworn to defend the constitution, and the constitution have defended human rights, has defended peace, unity, and harmony. Therefore, the president by default should be the biggest peace advocate and the biggest human rights defender, and the list goes on. Niaje molbe fisol la eka kumo dol fo miyalongo asinyim banko dunino fitino kono. Komi niata num famo ika fo akomale isa fo ko amantari je. But ndenga jele mole ko fo miyalongo wala jawata maymune mum fo. President Barrow jela fay bloqué.
Yeah. Afon kamin fodo.
Ngara auto.
Ah, okay.
Bari President Barrow fon ko mum fo. Wala jawiyata maymuna kamin fo. We can give a lot of examples. But in 2024, I think I was on holiday, remember study the man for remember. Brako atebe kusini kila way far. I tell a body or no body. Janata ka jimman say.
Fire confirm ko yabika bro kono.
President mu yofo. Kala wala mo si mo body no ata fembele. In 2021 during the campaign trend, may his soul rest in peace. Baba Dembo. Barobe Siri Horari to bring Baba Dembo ko ni UDP winter full benyim banko bla. And why some of these things are critical, we need to be fair to UDP. You know more than they were one time at UDP. So you come do for banda, more cover bijele da more ga hala manke to yati. And we come find that and come find like a fit no kamana. So mbafala President Barrow asa hakilo to back ara moli yabar ko ni mu kebati. Ila no malan kol fosi ya marietani tonyani hormone bunyala. Because political man general political ka banne. And Yemufo, this was not even a political rally.
No, it was not.
He went to inaugurate a road. Talk about that. I don't follow it, not as worse as my mother, but I don't follow it through, so say so true.
Yeah.
And I come up for the Lafaka Hakilo Blanco. For a monkey content the Comi Barrow, the Mudawal, the Mukamana, the Foream County. But the Barrow need to reflect. I can't say that Kujamal in Bangkok and Mulmanke. I Kujamal left for Mulmanke. And Manika can Nico count. Ye la Hidol Mundi. Imanti Mandino.
Oh, Seattle.
For Annan Hakilo to Bang. For NPP Lembang. For UDP Lembang. For United Lembang. Tribal politics. And politics is the fastest way to damage and put a country on fire.
Yes, it's true.
And you know why we should fix all of this, Fatou? But it's a balancing constitutional. We need to ensure that there is a law reforms commission. This is something that should have been in the pipeline. Because a law reform commission will be able to insert and reform certain legal frameworks to ensure some of these things are stopped. Because you see, there are laws that should ensure that dangerous speech is punished for.
And hate speech.
Yeah.
It's difficult though. But there should be regulations, especially during electoral times.
But still, hate speech, I'm
that's what the law have to be general. Nobody is above the law.
But he told me the biggest peddler of hate speech. He told me.
We have seen the Minister of Information establish and disinformation and misinformation response system.
Why are you promoting that here?
No, I'm not promoting it. I'm again that as disinformation expert, not by on the streets. I did my master's, my thesis, my scholarship, everything was on that. I'm telling you that as we speak, whilst that is going on, he has been fact-checked publicly and he has lied about Omar's case once, twice. Even yesterday when he came out to write a statement to clarify, he still lied.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to tell you is, it doesn't matter, we either this way or this way, we will put these people on check, but for more hakilotu. And President Baromba fly koteke, asa hakilotu baake molbe kumakal musala platform any more political different is political different. Why kunum faran tambitale? So hanamadum sa hakilotu baake. And my mona si senor dolbe nyamin, they don't have anything to offer. They don't have anything to offer. So the only thing they can do to impress their boss is to go and rain insults and all of that.
Loud mouth.
Ibele for Farbara Jawara Law National Assembly in the Famane. Kandime Galal. How many of them are doing that? I agree with him because they don't have ideas. Even there are people that claim to have PhDs and masters don't have ideas.
The moment you join NPP, most of the time,
I don't know if it is the party structure, but the moment you join NPP, you follow a normal flow. In a certificate of your degree go off. And then this again come back to tell the Gambian people that for tokos, I am going to me toko ekole law. Me toko law. Bunya bi na by force fan. And see that sign. We need to ensure that we fix this country. We need to ensure that mufevendi be figno la nyimbankoka. Nandabo dia no ngin fola nadia mola plan be election iya kono.
Yeah.
Sati jama BJP iman Cairo solo adalita munela election no ani kuma kaw mum fota ani kol mun keta. Sing haklo to back and umbari bid lako deke. Adama Barrow is not just a politician. He is the president of the Republic of the Gambia, and he owes us peace, he owes us unity, and he owes us that respect beyond his political cap. Beyond MPP, we pay him 500,000 or whatever it is to serve the interests of every Gambian, regardless of political affiliation, religion, educational background, or whatsoever. So sometimes he needs to wear that card, especially when he goes to platforms where it was state-sponsored.
Yeah.
That road was not MPP sponsored.
No.
It was state-sponsored. And now the young camera mole kaka favor like a mole.
Yeah.
A camera Sadale is from our taxpayers' money. And now this is where the role of oppositions come and the role of advocates to make people understand that whatever Adama Barrow and his government is doing, amanke Sadale and amanke Sori Fendi. Ila tarol nila namul wala kadunje. And that way we'll be able to control and tame them to be serious with national development over political religions and ethical sentiments. Better know it.
Wato banta kashadi ata kashaja mfa dudu besaro mindi la badi wala mimbe jubera wato banta.
Follow ke tentu ke jay dia programme to nyameng be technician ol fana tentula. To la katina mol kanje mol kamoy ila doko kuma tabakele be Omar fanan tentula ning sidia ila najang kachamu kachaleti anu molla lodula ante fonsa bunya abanke mengo men fota dorong fonsa jabi puisan pul ngason ka kejang menu be jibero laite programme
understand.
Yes. Yes, for wati kote inshallah
Fo hone be programme solo na minto.
Yeah, ketentu ka na paneli sol tentu Dodou Jah ning Camara mbalbe tentula and the technicians and the viewers mbalbe kontona and men na ko atana nata jang right honorable
What I was so coming for this I am unite me stand so unite na platform I post him I feel 1 hour ago 3 hours ago I can't apologize 3 hours ago I meeting of the committee meeting but I'm off on there
so atella ko atana nata jang ana ngamira kuma jamale fota jam yalon ko issues of very important issues and issues of substance. So, diamole ngamandia molka fole dolbe je, ila intentional ka fonyame ngani ya fonyame amakili so but kamobe to kamobe day. Peace.
Omar.
Me diamo kumfala mune wala nkafo manzo kundai ko. September 26. police only funding kile bute nyim banko kanyafa.
Yeah.
And beri aku keda. Man sakunda follow through the police if intele ko afata natural death la boy ya boy la boy all of that. Bari man sakunda fana ka fo moli batu ye investigation okay loi la costa. And few weeks ago the coroner report from the Brigadier Magistrate Court came out.
Yeah.
And it has been confirmed that Omar had been brutally killed by the police.
Yeah.
And a recommendation have been made.
Yeah.
No, the police or the government have said a word
about this
since then. Bringing report of Fintida.
Yeah.
Bringing Kokeda. Mansakunda minister lekafunyoma. Ye governor landaka. Ye sefo landaka ye bori Omar ya itara dadi amon. Ya kobe dia DJ. Ye koroboni ya because he tell that's how manipulated they are. Mola fukariani la batay kala fikolo use hani niyo vodala. Since then Fatou up to now, not the Minister of Interior, not the central government, not State House, not even the police that had an interest in this case to tell us what happened in the beginning could say a word. This is not just disappointing, but another failure of the state to address a serious issue like Omar's case. I don't know if the police are arrested. I don't know if those officers are still arrested, but it's a single, but yet an important recommendation that they need to face criminal proceedings and prosecution, and that must happen. And the youth of Mandiraring got to me today that if tomorrow din sama banda Imam Femwe, they will call a press conference on Sunday to make their position possible. And after that press conference, what will happen to Mandiraring had not even happened on the day we went out to protest. This is a message to the government. Now they have a choice and the ball is in their court. And I will support. And I'm sure GALA will support Mandiraring now than we did before. Omar deserve justice.
Yeah.
And we cannot delay that. No deny it, Fatou. I am disappointed. In the first place, I said it here, Sid Matar should have not been IG today. If there is integrity and same in our public officers, Fatou.
Kinte resigned over Faraba incident.
Yeah, Kinte was just police commissioner.
Integrity.
You see, everybody will continue to reference Kinte. If Sidi Matar could not resign, probably could have taken responsibility and failed to do that. And I think the next Mandiraring protest is not just justice for Omar, but also is going to be against Sidi Matar. Thank you.
Hopefully we will hear from the police or the government as soon as possible. It is important that they tell us what their position is on the coroner's, if they are going to do the criminal investigation, since that is the recommendation. Hopefully we'll hear from them. We don't want to but government promise with justice and the report of hopefully they will hear from them as soon as possible. Dodou Jah, thank you so much for always saving us whenever we needed a lifeline. Thank you so much. And Omar, you know
but me, I'm also like Dodou Jah. I can be available any moment.
That is very assuring.
Yeah,
I was so excited about it. I came on in Natina. Came on, okay, many cancel. Fontaine came on. No. Me, video, okay, draw. No video announced Jumale Kana. Yeah, I can find you. But I don't know. As a kid, I'm a video. I video. Hey, but I found this. I saw a Jafata. Good night to you. Until we come again. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and to the team, the technical team. Good night to you all, and you all watching. Thank you so much, and see you again next week, inshallah, on Monday for our civic education show. Thank you very much. You are friendly. You go, Fatou Toure, you know how we are media friendly at Unite. Well, I don't know about that today. Today, Allah boss keba manna, yaya fana manna. Silang memle fola. I'm about to question Unite people, honestly. Good night to you.